This is Timothy Barr from MLW. Make sure you give a listen to one of the greatest podcasts in the world, True Heel Heat.
What's going down? It's your boy, EJ Nduka, the judge, and we're here in New York, the Battle Riot. And make sure y'all tune into True Heel Heat. They got it going. I'll see y'all.
It's Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for some True Heel Heat, and this is a special one, a 5-year anniversary. It has been 5 years since we started this little old podcast in Top Guy JJ's room with baby Seth behind an iPad like a 12-year-old trying to drive a steering wheel. And we are here 5 years later to celebrate True Heel Heat's flagship podcast, this YouTube channel, and of course, talk about the latest wrestling news, including CM Punk possibly quitting AEW due to real life heat between him and Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega's return, NXT UK. Rest in peace. We are here to talk it all right here on True Heel Heat. So let's hit the intro. Hello. It is me, the new media Forbidden Door, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for True Heel Heat 189, our 5-year anniversary, celebrating 5 years of our flagship podcast and discussing the latest wrestling news, including AEW fearing that CM Punk may want to quit the company thanks in part to his real life heat with Hangman Adam Page, WWE announcing the launch of NXT Europe and closing down NXT UK, recap of the week in wrestling with AEW Dynamite featuring the return of Kenny Omega, AEW Rampage and SmackDown last night, Raw, NXT Heatwave, Impact on Access TV, GCW Homecoming, the G1 Climax 32 finals, plus everyone who's going to be on screen. I'm going to ask them to share their favorite memory moment guest from the last 5 years of our flagship podcast throughout the show. I am here as always with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krissy Love.
Good morning. Happy birthday. This is exciting. We're supposed to have music playing and whatnot. I guess we don't have a budget for that yet. That's okay. But good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is well. Happy birthday. Wow, 5 years. It seems so no, it don't even seem like 5 years to me. Wow, I'm surprised. 5. Happy big 5.
Been a wild ride. You came on your first episode of True Heel Heat. I did this research because Romeo asked me beforehand. Your first episode was True Heel Heat 26. 26.
What?
Yes. So you've been on for 162 episodes.
Shit.
Or less, because you do skip some weeks. You don't have the Brock Lesnar schedule, but you have the Roman Reigns schedule.
Yeah, I have the Roman Reigns schedule. That sounds about right. Yeah. I do show up though. See? More than others.
You did. I don't know if that was a shot or not, but I like it. I like it. I dig it. We have with us one of the contributors of True Hill Heat, one of the guys that's been on here for a very long time, numerous appearances throughout the past 5 years, including True Hill Heat. Yes, including True Hill Heat 46, which was during All Out 2019 weekend, where we had the infamous Drunk Guy JJ Gets Drunk on Air episode, nearly 3 hours of that. He is the host of Dark Power, the host of Rampage Wrap Up, along with True Jaw Josh. He is the Stat King.
What's going on, guys? 5 years, man. It's 5 years, guys. It's crazy to think from where we started to where we are now, and a lot of that is thanks to all of our viewers, all of our subscribers. We appreciate all of you guys. It allows us to put these shows on. We appreciate everybody who's been a part of this, all the different contributors and guests we've had over the years. I mean, think of the number of shows that we have put on, not just the main podcast, but what the main podcast birthed, the whole YouTube channel, Patreon, all of that, Twitch. It's absolutely incredible. And you already, I mean, I don't even have to say my favorite moment. You already said it. It's easily when Jaquan was and you were here for All Out, and I had to lean over to him at one point during the broadcast and just whisper, "You know, I do have neighbors, right?" Because of how loud he was.
I just remember the one moment when he's just like he's like so drunk. He's like,
but that is actually Jaquan getting drunk is in itself a testament to our viewers, because the reason why he was getting drunk is because people in the comments were making him drink. So you guys should thank yourselves. You guys should give yourselves a pat on the back for helping to create that wonderful moment. And look, and from that we get Rated Raw Superstars.
Right.
Yes.
So that was the birth of it. Yes. Yes.
The birth of his moniker of Drunk Guy JJ. He's now evolved to Sober Guy JJ.
Right.
He even changed his Twitter name to Sober Guy JJ.
He's just got to shave his head and get the fedora like Corbin.
There you go. The evolution is real. We love to see it. And of course, all of you, we appreciate each and every one of you that is a subscriber, that views and comes and see True Hill Heat every single week. We are on a high when it comes to our flagship podcast. We've had 4 straight weeks of 1,000 or more viewers. So we want to thank you all for checking out the last couple of weeks with guests like Rick Eugenio, Dutch Mantel. We had the core 3 back together, and then last week the women's fantasy draft with our champion, the four straight champion of the fantasy draft, Miss Krissy Love here. Krissy Love, before we get into anything,
just call me the 4 horsewomen. That's all. Just call me the 4 horsewomen. It's fine. Don't worry.
I wanted to ask you, Krissy, what's your favorite memory, moment, or guest from True Hill Heat the past 5 years?
Oh my God, so many, but one of my memories is just when we were all together, and we had like I think it was our last like live anniversary. We had like so many people come. This was just before the pandemic, boys and girls. Like before, we used to like get together and record these things live, together. If you don't know, but yeah, I think it was like one of my fondest memories when everyone just like showed us love, and they just came like on a random. I think it was like a Saturday, right? We just changed it for like a Saturday. Yeah. And like everyone just like came up to like your job, and like we had so many people, and I think JJ and I were like very, very nice after that episode. I remember it was a lot of alcohol. We were, as the young kids say, lit. There you go, friend. We were very lit that day. We had a great episode. That's one of my favorite. The fantasy one was great last week too. There's so many people that we've had on this show. One of my favorites, Uncle Dutch. And
of course,
Uncle Dutch is a good one. Then we have the ladies always show us love. We don't have much ladies on, but when they do come, they always show lots of love.
Yes, Stephanie Hype, Stephanie Chase, Samara, So many great guests. I'll give my final remarks about the journey we've been on for the last 5 years at the end of the show, but we want to see what all of you have to say, because one thing we love about this flagship podcast, it is very interactive. We love to highlight as many of your comments as possible in the live chat. I always answer any of the comments that you make on demand in the comments section below as well. And of course, your super chat donations is the best way to show your love and show your appreciation for the True Heat podcast and what we do here every single Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. We got ALW with the big super chat donation, $25 super chat donation, saying thanks for all the content and congrats on 5 years. Thank you so much, ALW, Alan Weinstein. You are one of our absolute favorites. Always bringing the spice, bringing the True Heel heat in the live chat. And of course, you are one of our great Patreon backers. So if you go over and check on Patreon, you can click the link and join us on screen, ALW. So don't be shy. I know we exchange messages, so you could jump over there if you want to join us on screen for even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Show your love and let us know what your favorite moment from the past 5 years of our flagship podcast has been. We got Chase Oliver with us in the live chat with a huge, even bigger super chat donation, $50. Thank you so much, Chase, man. You and the entire Around the Point gang have really brought some love to like our watch-alongs, talking sports, the UFC watch-alongs, the boxing watch-alongs, and he says, happy 5-year anniversary, THH gang. Thank you for allowing the Around the Point gang to jump on watch-alongs and talk sports. Chase, Walter, Steve, and Mike, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are amazing, and what you're able to bring to the True Hill Heat it's definitely been a nice little injection of two different worlds coming together. It's like the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe coming together. The heels all coming aboard.
Right, we went from like one show a week. Now we have a show almost like every day.
Yeah,
exactly.
Damn near like
we had
one show. It was on a Thursday, then it was on a Saturday. We always changed it. And then now we have like watch-alongs. Like it's evolved like so much. Like we're on all the time. Like you can find so much content for us now.
Yes, it's crazy how much we've grown, especially not just the whole 5 years, but the last 3 years when we really started doing more content here on YouTube, and definitely have created this community that we are very, very proud of. Alan Einstein also adding THH, let's fucking go. 5 years, congratulations. Thanks for all the amazing content. Here is to 20 more years of THH. We got Slammin' Sammy Joe saying 5 years, woot woot. We got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson saying 5 years of True Hill Heat, baby. Let's get it, fam. We also got Derek who says congrats on your 5 years anniversary. And one of the best things about True Hill Heat is that you guys know, if you say something in the live chat, we usually going to acknowledge you, even if it's a positive thing or a negative thing. And Vala B, you're one of my favorites, so I'm going to have to call you out here. He says he isn't quitting. That's not even what was reported. Some people on the roster thought he might quit. I literally said AEW feared that CM Punk may quit. Might. That's the key word. You just heard every other word except for the might and the maybe and the Jesus Christ. Come on, Vala B, you're better than that. I better see some 100 rubies super chat donation for getting me upset this early in the goddamn morning. But we got Krissy Love here with us. We got StatKing here with us. We're missing one person, a person who was on the first ever podcast with us. We also got someone that I'm going to give a formal introduction because his jersey is in the Hall of Fame of our chat. So I see you in the background. I see you nodding. Don't worry, I'm going to give you a special announcement. But first, we got someone who was with me on the first episode, one of the pioneers, one of the pillars of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, the man, the myth, the legend, the candle maker, the president of Titan Nation, Top Guy JJ. He's on his way to work. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Yes, sir. We here. Happy 5 years, motherfuckers. Oh my God. Like this shit is nuts. Like shit, it went from me and SP shouting at each other for an hour and a half straight in my bedroom. Not like that. Just wanted to point that out there. Major pause on that. I just needed to put that out there real fast.
This guy.
But True Hill
Hey,
Heat
yo.
1 was recorded by the producers in the back, and it was in my room. That's how shit started with True Hill Heat 1. And there was a shit ton of arguing there. And to think we even make it to a
right?
And to think we even make it to 100 is nuts, right? And that's when the whole gang got together, everybody from our past, our present. And here we are, 11 weeks away from 200. Like,
Indeed.
like, what the hell is going on? Like, why do people like us this much?
It's very true. It's very true.
And I gotta just send some love real quick because I popped in to their watch along for a little while. The fact that you see AEW, Slam and Sammy Joe, CM, and Anika Wilson is now doing a show on their own. Look, we did our job. We did our job. Like, there are people that is from this family. They're branching off and they're doing their stuff. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, I love it.
Definitely.
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are amazing that you kind of have met in this community that we build and did your own thing. I'm so proud. I tell that to Alan Weinstein hitting me up and stuff, and definitely going to have some crossover with you guys coming on the channel in the near future, for sure. But JJ,
Yeah, John
everybody's
Paul,
been
John Paul. Yeah, I see John Paul in his comment right there. Listen, man, I don't give a fuck if I'm walking through a parking lot. If I'm walking through anywhere, you're going to hear foul language come out of my mouth. I don't give a fuck who's looking at me. That's not the... Oh, why did you do that? Now I feel terrible.
I was waiting
Now
for
I feel terrible.
she can't hear a word you say.
Okay, good. Whew. I was scared to death. Holy. Like come
Were
on, y'all.
Were you really?
Like,
CHH for the kids.
I'm over here
CHH for the kids.
I'm over here spouting at the mouth, making sure I cross the street safely, and I'm over here spouting foul language, and I see the most beautiful person in the world just enter my screen. You're terrible for that. Oh my God. You stand there gave me a heart attack on live TV.
That's great. That's the way to start this show with the
Look, man,
nonsense.
I don't care if I piss you off, but sheesh, Harlem has nothing to do with this.
But JJ, everybody's been sharing their favorite moment from the past 5 years of True Hill Heat to start things off. What has been yours since you've been here from the beginning for 100 or so episodes? What has been your favorite moment?
I would say, honestly, from us starting from nothing, from us literally starting from no one watching us except a camera, and we are being insanely passionate about what we talk about, what we do, and having just fun being wrestling fans. So if you're just starting up, if you're just getting into the world, we start always with nothing. And then when we grow, you see it happen at a slow process, and then it booms, and then it grows. And just be yourself, be a character, be who you are, and don't be afraid of that. Don't shy away from that because you're on a camera. Fuck the camera. Have fun for you. The arguments between us over the first like 2 years, when I was on my Jinder Mahal love train and having fun with that, and my absolute monster rants on bum ass Baron Corbin, that was absolutely fun as well. And then
You originated bum ass Corbin before McAfee.
Yes, that was me.
McAfee watches
I
True Hill
originated
Heat.
that. I originated
Right. He
that.
definitely,
Yes,
he definitely did. He was the first one to say that. I can co-sign that for sure. Yeah, we both hated. We both
I was
hated
on that
Baron
train for a
Corbin.
minute.
Yep.
So
Yep. Still is.
So I'm gonna cheat and give 3 because the next favorite moment was meeting Krissy Love at a place that we'll never go to again, and you know that was amazing as well because meeting Krissy, seeing Krissy for the first time, and we are just kicking it about wrestling and seeing somebody that's as passionate as the most of us with wrestling, and it was natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like it was something she was trying to fit in with. She just loved it, and she just became a member of the family literally like instantly. And here she is like 3 years later. So it's pretty fire. It's pretty fire. And next one I'm going to say is, to be honest, is us having the courage to do the Black Lives Matter episode. Like being able to get front and center with that, do that, put our voices out there, and really express how we truly feel, no matter what the ramifications were, speaking our minds freely and shedding light on something that was so terrible, and it obviously still resonates with some people to this day. Just the fact that we were able to do that was a highlight moment for me as well.
Love those. Great stuff right there from Top Guy JJ. Definitely all great moments and memories from the past 5 years. Bunch of comments in here with their favorite memories and guests. We got Slamming Sammy Joe, who says, "My God, the Tessa rant." Yes. We also got CM and kind of agreeing, saying the Tessa rant where no lies were detected. We also got CM saying watching dude fall in love with Krissy was also a great show, and I guess she's talking about Alan Weinstein here, who says Kenny Bolin has been my favorite guest.
Yo, all you gotta remember is just that one line from Krissy and her entire rant. Fuck that bitch.
Yes, that's when Annika really became a fan of True Hill Heat, when she went on the Tessa rant on her episode of Wrestling Daily. She says the Tessa moment on Wrestling Daily is truly my favorite moment of True Hill Heat. Yes.
Really?
That personified True Hill. We literally had to take that clip and play it here on the podcast because it was so good. We also got Will Chisholm, who says, "I remember when I ran into y'all show about 2 years ago, and to see how far y'all have came, I'm really proud of you guys. Thank you so much for that." We got Vala B. He listened to me. Vala B with the super chat donation here, saying, "I only looked at the headline and was on mute, but as far as why we like you so much, you're real people who love wrestling. What more could I want?" Thank you so much for that, Valabi. And he also adds, "Our best moments that I've been a part of, ? Those Kenny Bolin shows." He also says the Cody cookout was his favorite ones. The
Cody cookout was great.
That was nice.
And Romeo just kept adding people like randomly every like
nice.
5-10 minutes. That was a good one. No, that's a good one right there.
One of my favorite Top Guy JJ rants is his Booker T rant from the episode with Andrew Thompson, when we coined the phrase that the T in Booker T stands for Uncle Tom.
Unbelievable.
And we also got a super chat donation here from John Paul, who says, "JJ's baby reaction." See, we made a new moment here. We made a new moment on this episode.
Yo, listen, man. That's the beauty of this, man. Is that don't hide your reactions, bro. Just be whatever the hell you feel. That's it, man. Listen, I don't care if I catch a heart attack on live TV. That means I can sue y'all when this is over.
Pretty much.
I guess because I got video proof.
Good luck. You can make like $5-10.
Oh no, I will take that in installments and love every single moment of it.
Well, JJ, I know you just get into work, so any final remarks before we let you get settled in at the JOB?
And also I'm sorry if you hear some music over my head too, because I just got here. But just having a lot of gratefulness about being here where I'm at now for the 1 year anniversary of my own place, of my own spot here. Last year I couldn't walk, and here I am in the building about to run my business, and the fact that I can do that a year later, it's just don't stop pushing, keep going, keep getting after it. Whenever things feel gloom and doom, just keep going for it. And I'm literally a testament to that because I ain't the youngest chicken in the yard, and this felt hard, but you push, you make it.
It's true. It's true, man. And I'm so proud of you, what you're able to do with your business, being on this show from True Hill Heat episode 1, which I was able to rewatch and hear our arguments after SummerSlam 2017. It's been a wild ride, but I thank you for being here with me, Top Guy JJ.
Yes, appreciate it. Love you guys. You know, you guys are all like family. This has been a hell of a ride. Can't wait for 5 more years, 10 more years, as much time as we got left for this. I just want to keep rocking this out until we just can't do this shit no more.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
You,
thank you so much for joining us, Top Guy JJ. Now get to work. Clock in.
Yeah. I actually, I am clocked in. I'm just in the bathroom right now.
Have a good day at
nobody
work,
but the True Heel Heat world is seeing this, and none of my people like watching wrestling, so I'm good.
Love you guys. Day at work,
I'll see
brother.
Bye.
All right. Well, we got 3 of us, but don't worry, we're gonna be joined by more because first off, I want to do the True Heel roll call first with the True Heel Trinity, our top 3 conversation starters on our True Hills group page. Coming in at number 3 is Reno Red. Coming in at number 2 is Stewie Palmer, and of course, he is the man that has been showing his support on the True Heel Heat main page, the Facebook page, a person that has been one of our biggest supporters. He's been on the YouTube channel, been on Blunt Impact a few weeks, coughing up a storm as he smokes. And he is the man that we came up with his nickname. The Negro Buck himself has joined us. He is also one of our Patreon backers. The Negro Buck Nick Jackson is here. Look at him.
Hello,
Thank you
everyone.
for joining us, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Good
5
morning.
years.
What's up? How's it going
Nothing
down
much. I'm doing great. I'm very happy that I'm able to join you guys to celebrate this milestone because where does the time go? 5 years, and I'm very happy to say, I've been rocking with True Heel Heat for 4 of those years. So I mean, the journey to see where you guys started from as to where you are now and to be part of that journey, that's something real special.
We always appreciate your support, man. You definitely have been riding with us. You've been shooting in the gym with us for a very long time. Just like everyone else, StatKing, Miss Krissy Love, Top Guy JJ. What has been your favorite memory, favorite moment, guess from the 5 years of our flagship podcast here?
Ooh, I mean, where do you even begin to start? I guess I'll cheat a little bit and I'll just give a few of my favorite moments from, everyone on the panel. I just missed Top Guy JJ, but some of my favorite moments were obviously his rants. Going back, before we really took off on the YouTube channel, his rant on the end of that Hell in a Cell match between The Fiend and Seth Rollins is an all-timer. If you have not seen that, definitely dig through the YouTube channel to find it. The Booker T rant was amazing. This didn't necessarily happen on the show, but USP3 giving me the nickname the Negro Buck, just out of nowhere, perfectly fit. Obviously, Miss Krissy loves Tessa Blanchard rant and her rants about Ronda Rousey and the Paul brothers. And another one that sticks out is her dubbing Vince McMahon a fuckboy. Just that one lives rent free in my head. And just
thanks, friend.
Of course. And we've had so many amazing guests on the show, shout outs to people like Benno and Stephanie Chase, Stephanie Hypes, people like Samara, Dutch Mantel, Chris Van Vliet, and I just love the overall growth that you guys have had because, when I first started, as Top Guy JJ said, you guys were doing the stuff on Facebook Live with Baby Seth as the producer. And then, just after the pandemic, just the shift that you guys had with the recorded shows and then getting back to live and then all the spin-off content that you guys have every week for everybody who loves wrestling, no matter what it is, Rated Raw Superstars, NX3, Elite Heat, Blunt Impact, AE Ramble. It's just like everything that you guys have done and what you guys continue to do and how passionate you guys are for wrestling. And it's just, you know, seeing people that love this as much as me, and you guys know what you want to do and you guys keep pushing through no matter what happens. And I just really admire and respect everything you guys have done, you know, to make yourself the brand that you are today.
Appreciate those kind words, man. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for, you know, being not only, you know, a big supporter on our Facebook, here on YouTube, but also on patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Got to shout out a couple of our other Patreon backers here. Vala B, that's in the live chat, Alan Weinstein, Alex McCarthy, Austin K, Slam and Sammy Joe, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve Salvage, Antoine Rutledge, Fifth Generation Carney, Beat Boop, DJ Eric, Ladarius Brown, John, aka Wrestle Scopes, Dan Snide, Kobe, Toy Morgan, John Paul, our newest Patreon backer, Blue Eyes. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon backer today. And our next guest who's joining us here on screen. You've seen him on screen before. I had him waiting in the backstage area because I wanted to give him a formal introduction after everybody else that already was in the backstage area here. He is from the NWA podcast, the man that coined the term UPN, underpaid Negroes.
Yes.
He is the professor.
Yes.
Professor Kris is here with us.
Hey.
What's going on,
what's
man?
up, y'all?
Hey, Professor Kris.
Professor Kris, good to meet you, brother.
Krssi. Hey, nice meeting you too, man. What's up, y'all?
What's going on, man?
How's it going? How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine, man. I woke up
Doing
like,
good, man?
yeah. Woke up like 30 minutes ago. I'm just still trying to like catch up on my wrestling stuff. Because I haven't been watching too much this week, but I did watch Raw. So I just want to be prepared to talk about this stuff, and you know, that's it.
Thank you so much for joining us on here, the 5-year anniversary. I know you've been, you know, following us, and you not only been on screen with us as a guest, but you're always in the, you know, live chat showing your support, one of our Patreon backers as well. Any memory you want to mention before we get into the actual show of things? We spent 30 minutes just reminiscing before we get into any news or anything here. So Professor Kris, lay it on us. Any memories that you want to share?
So yeah, I've got a bunch actually, but like I don't know what bleeds into this show versus like other shows you do. SP3.
Yeah, that.
I loved Stephanie Chase. She did some rant on Peter Rosenberg. I don't remember what show that was, but I just was cracking up. I was in my office just laughing at that. I remember that. I like just being able to listen to y'all's point of view. I know anytime Tessa Blanchard comes up on this show, I know Krissy's gonna have something to say, or Ronda Rousey and all that. You know, I like listening to Stat Guy. You know, all you guys. It's just fun times, and I love being able to come on this show because it's therapeutic for me sometimes when I'm on this show, especially when something is really bad on wrestling, because once you turn 40 and you see some of the stupid shit on wrestling, it's like, okay, you're a grown ass man. Why are you still watching this shit? And then doing a show like this kind of reminds me, hey, this is why I do this show, because people don't understand the layers to what we do. Yes. Right? They don't understand, like, that's a fact. They just write it off as stupid wrestling, but when it's done correctly, it's a beautiful thing. It's just, you have to understand how the business is supposed to work and when the business is working at its best. So that's one of the things I love about this show, is being able to come on here. And then also you guys don't really I'm a political science professor, so you know when if I swing politics into this show, you guys just you just go with it. You don't really like trip on me for that. Other people, so you there's certain shows, people that I'm friends with in this space that I won't do that because that's not their thing, and it'd be disrespectful to do that, but on this show I could talk about whatever I want, and that's a fun thing for me.
Yes, we love having you on. You were on for one of our more popular episodes this year already when after the Sasha Banks and Naomi walkout, and we spent nearly 2 hours talking about all the ramification from that.
All-time episode, that great. One.
And the funny thing about that story is it's still developing. After when was that we did that? It's like 2 months ago we did that story, and we're still like trying to figure out what the F is going on, even like now they say, oh, they're going back to WWE, and I believe it for the most part, but I don't believe it until it actually happens, just because this has been going on for so long, man.
Yeah.
And shout out to those so sisters too. Yeah. For extending it out, man.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I got that kind of patience.
We got Kid Get Money with a super chat donation. Thank you so much for that, Kid Get Money, saying thank you, True Hill Heat, for always showing love to my Jaguars. Yes, you can always count on Jimmy Macaram to mention the Jaguars when he goes on a rant about Tony Khan. Absolutely. Bala B adding, don't forget about J News and New Japan coverage. Yeah, we had our G1 Climax 32 finals roundtable review yesterday that was live on the channel. You can watch that on demand if you haven't already. We're going to talk a little bit about the G1 on.
We'll get into that. I agree with you there. Amazing match though, but yes.
Kid Get Money saying nobody works harder than True Hill Heat, and we love and respect y'all for it. Thank you so much, Kid Money, for both of those super chat donations and always showing your support to the team here. Annika Wilson with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Annika. And I love the fact that I met you as part of the community of Wrestling Daily, and you have just blended in so nicely with the community here on True Hill Heat, and you're always in the chat showing love and calling Jimmy Macaram out for his nonsense. I always appreciate you for that.
One of our favorites. We love you, Annika.
Annika saying, when you can enjoy something and be your full self while enjoying it, it's a true gift. Thanks, THH, for bringing true rest homies. Tessa, F that bitch. F that bitch.
I'll twist to that one.
you know Krissy loves you for that comment for sure, but let's get yes, I'm part of the True Hill Heat baddie section for sure. But let's get into some actual news. We got a bunch of people on here, so let's talk about something going on in the wrestling world. Which our first up is our top news story, which of course is about CM Punk and AEW talent staff fearing that CM Punk may have quit the company following recent frustrations that date back to May with his real life heat with Hangman Adam Page. During Wednesday's episode of Dynamite, CM Punk opened his return promo by calling out Hangman Page for a rematch and then called him a coward when he didn't show. On Twitter, Page reacted to the segment by quoting Megan Thee Stallion. He wrote, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bad bitches have bad days too. The lyric is from her song Anxiety, and Hangman is an anxious millennial cowboy. So that's in line with his character. Meanwhile, John Silver also reacted, noting that Page was busy at the time with a picture of Page eating and catering, saying the best wrestler in catering. Then, on Thursday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Punk calling out Hangman was not planned for the show. No one backstage knew Punk was going to do that, and it was weird for everyone. And Meltzer said, also noted that when CM Punk and Hangman were feuding back in May, there was a lot of reality to it. Brian Alvarez added, whatever they are going to do next week with the title match, Punk's promo had absolutely zero zilch to do with whatever they are doing at the pay-per-view. That was not supposed to happen. Punk went into business for himself and then moved on. Meltzer said that while they may build something later, there are no plans for the two to face each other at All Out. He said that whatever happened during their past feud, if he was mad at something, Page said he saved it up and said something during this promo. He added that the shots Punk and Moxley took at each other were not off script or unprofessional, and they were just selling their match, but the shots at Page were something very different. It appears the heat between Hangman Page and CM Punk might be going deeper than originally thought, though. According to a new report from Fightful Select, trouble may be brewing between AEW and CM Punk. Apparently, the backstage issues are related to CM Punk making his alleged shoot comments regarding Hangman Page during his promo on AEW Dynamite, which Fightful is also reporting was not planned for the segment. According to this report, Punk has heat with Hangman going back to some of their pre-match promo material ahead of their title bout at AEW Double or Nothing 2022 in May. The match saw Punk beat Hangman Page to capture the AEW World Championship, but Punk soon had to take a leave of absence after injuring his foot. It's rumored that Punk and Hangman didn't see eye to eye on some of their promos in the build-up to the title match, and Punk reportedly went so far as meeting with AEW higher-ups on the contents of the comments Hangman Page made in his promo. Additionally, Voices of Wrestling reported a rumor that Punk told others that after the meeting with AEW officials in May, that he wouldn't lose to Hangman Adam Page. Several people in AEW reportedly informed Fightful that what happened in the promo on Dynamite from CM Punk was unfair to Hangman Page, who is said to have been in the building for Wednesday's show. However, one source stated to Fightful on Hangman, if he was aware of it, what would he have done? Charged to the ring past Tony Khan, interrupted a promo he knew he wasn't supposed to be a part of. There was no way Hangman could have won in that situation. Fightful also noted that Hangman Page didn't respond to Punk's remarks in any specific way. AEW sources have said that Hangman isn't particularly a confrontational individual, and he's reportedly well-liked among the AEW roster. It's also reported that several people on AEW's roster speculated Punk's heat with Hangman is over Punk's belief that Hangman went into business for himself first before their Double or Nothing title match. So Punk's comments on Dynamite on Wednesday regarding Hangman were seen as a verbal receipt by Punk to the former champion. However, this is said to be speculation among members of AEW's locker room, and Punk has not told anyone this directly. Hangman reportedly made comments in one of his promos alluding to Punk's past issues with Colt Cabana, which Punk did not appreciate. Hangman Page also reportedly made comments during another week where CM Punk was not present, and that was said to have accelerated the whole issue. A person close to Punk justified Punk's comments to Fightful by noting that Punk shot at Hangman while Hangman was present at the event, unlike what Hangman did. Another interesting part of the story is that sources close to the situation have said that CM Punk often verbally expresses his displeasure about things in All Elite Wrestling. He's rumored to have done it so blatantly recently that they believed that Punk might ultimately quit the company. However, sources close to Punk said that he would have instead stayed home from Wednesday's Dynamite, and they don't believe he actually would have quit in this instance. Fightful Sean Rossap also reported via Twitter that one source who is said to be familiar with this situation also believes there was a chance Punk was not going to appear on Wednesday's show, and it is noted that they do not know definitely what led to this belief. Another development on Wednesday's Dynamite was the announcement that CM Punk and Jon Moxley will have their world title unification match on next week's show instead of AEW All Out 2022 in Chicago. Fightful reports that making the title matchup for next week was a late decision. The crux of what led to Punk nearly not showing up to Dynamite is unknown, be it the title match being moved to next week's Dynamite or Hangman's past comments. Fightful's report noted that while there weren't any indications that Punk actually plans on leaving AEW, I know. One veteran informed the outlet of hearing about threats being levied regarding Punk leaving AEW. The report makes it clear that they do not have information stating that Punk actually threatened to quit or that he threatened to show up due to the issues. So I'll start with you, Professor Kris. What do you think about this whole report, especially with the Punk and Page part of this? Who kind of looks good and who looks bad out of all of this?
Man, I don't know, these crybaby ass wrestlers. I don't understand it. Maybe it's not for me to understand. You know, at my regular job, when I'm beefing with somebody, you know, we handle it, you know, the way we handle it, you know, behind the scenes or whatever. This, I just don't understand it. I don't know who's right or who's wrong. As an outsider looking in, listening in, it sounds stupid. It just makes no sense to me. I want to hear more about it. I mean, and I don't necessarily agree. Like if Hangman ran out there and bum rushed CM Punk, what would he do? If Tony Khan fired him, he'd go to WWE. Especially in this atmosphere. I mean, shit. I mean, that's that. Like, why would that WWE not want to hire Hangman Page? You know, CM Punk. I don't think it's scorched earth with him at WWE either. You know, I think these guys kind of are trying to fill out where their power is. You know, and you know, I'm interested to see in what happens, and the backstage stuff in wrestling is really, really crazy, man. And this is one of the stories that's just kind of it intrigues me, but I still don't completely understand it. So I'll be listening to, you know, Nick and StatKing and you and Krissy to, you know, fill me in, because I just don't. This seems so like amateur hour, peanut gallery, crybaby bullshit. But you know, that's just me.
StatKing, we got a comment here from Smoke Dorman who says Punk is working everyone. And when I first showed you this report, you kind of said the same thing. So what's your reaction a few days later following this report? And what do you think about all of this?
So I'm pretty convinced that this is a work.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been waiting for this since I was standing in the United Center when the dude came out a year ago. His entire career has been about turning heel at very interesting moments through very interesting ways. And every time he's done it, whether it was in Ring of Honor or then later in WWE at Raw 1000, the big one when he turned heel the big time, everything involved some kind of backstage issues and involved backstage storylines coming to the forefront and being made part of TV. This is exactly what's happening here. On top of that, AEW is a company that was founded by a group of people who used backstage information and talked about it on a YouTube show that helped to further storylines that were happening on TV, especially when they weren't able to get TV time, when they were in New Japan and when they were in Ring of Honor. All of this screams like it is a work. Because if you look at how he came in, his first major opponent, was a face. His second major opponent was a face. His third major opponent was the first time he faced a heel and he lost. And what was the thing that MJF said? I want to show you guys what happens to CM Punk when he loses. We are now 1 year, almost exactly to the day, since he came to AEW. Yeah. You guys don't think that this was some kind of a long-term plan? This is a guy who learned how to book sitting at the knee of Paul Heyman years ago at OVW.
He knows how much time he has left on his AEW contract, but beyond that, how much time he has in wrestling general. He's not going to be around here 10 years from now. That's just not what he's going to be. Maybe a backstage guy working on storylines and things like that, but he's not going to be on camera 10 years from now. He knows what his timeline is. This is his magnum opus. This is everything that he has been building towards his entire career. And the fact that he's doing it with somebody like a Hangman Page, who is so beloved by the audience, reinforces that fact. Every single person who has been talking shit about him since he came in have all been talking about him going into business for himself, not being happy backstage and what he does when things don't go his way. Now, all of a sudden, we have these reports. It just screams like it's a work, and it's designed to be a storyline. Because how do you bring somebody like MJF back when MJF is the greatest heel and the top heel, even when he's not on camera, and make him turn his storyline, which is an anti-Tony storyline, where MJF has legitimate complaints about pay, about how he's been used? How do you turn that into a face kind of storyline and get the people to be sympathetic for him? It's easy. You take the biggest target that he has had in his career in AEW and the person that he had the best mic back and forth with, and you swap the roles. And that screams to me exactly, because remember, we had the report that after MJF's mic was cut off and he was leaving, CM Punk came out and tried to talk to him and chase him down. They never got to do the storyline because Punk hurt his foot, but it just screams as though this is what's happening. And on top of that, let's not forget when he was at Comic-Con a couple weeks ago and they were asking him about his foot, he was saying it's day to day, it's not good. I don't know when I'll be back. Some days are good. I could put weight on it. I can't put weight on it. I'm just trying to make sure I come back healthy. And people were talking about how he was in a walking boot and having ice on his foot and all that kind of stuff. He's back in the ring less than a month later, 3 weeks later, jumping up and down on the foot. A part of me is even willing to believe that the foot injury was a work.
It was not even real. Yeah.
Like part of me is like that's like, because this guy, that's just been his MO this whole time. And none of it makes any sense. I feel the same way, John. I feel the same way. None of it makes any sense. If you look at it like this. And when he came back, and if my fiance was here, she could tell you, I'm jumping off the couch and dancing up and down in my living room. But when he came back, you know, the first thought that went through my mind about the foot injury when I see him hopping up and down, my thought went back to Christopher Nolan's Prestige. When Michael Caine had Michael Caine's character had Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale go to that magician's performance and make him watch, and Hugh Jackman's trying to figure out how he pulled off the trick, and Christian Bale said no, his entire life is the trick, making you think that he's a feeble old man when he's actually really ridiculously strong, and that's how he's pulling off the trick. Everything about this dude is a work, because he harkens back to that classic keep kayfabe alive at all times and use the work to shoot when you need to. This whole thing, right? Like what people are trying to make me believe that Punk is willing to quit the company and is getting angry because Paige said mean words about him on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He didn't quit WWE for years when they were misusing him and saying mean words about him on TV. Like it doesn't make any sense why you would believe that this is an actual real life thing. Now, I could very well be wrong, but right now I don't see how it's anything but a very calculated work.
I hope it's what you're saying is all I say, because if it's not, it just makes no goddamn sense to me.
No sense, right? Exactly.
I mean, to add to what StatKing is saying, CM Punk used the dirt sheets to build up to his return. Like it's widely assumed that he had somebody from his team contact Sean Ross Sapp to put out that original report to build up the anticipation for his return last year in the United Center. So it does does add credence to what StatKing is saying here. Krissy Love, I know you got to go very soon, but to talk about the other part of this report, do you think AEW made the right decision in pushing up the Punk versus Jon Moxley match for next Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, with everything that's StatKing saying and a potential of MJF coming back? Do you think it's the right decision to push this match up when it's been built as like the biggest match AEW can offer?
It's been pushed up because it was going to be seen on the pay-per-view, but now it's bring viewership for Wednesday. So now it's going to make those numbers high. So it's all like a strategic thing on Tony and them to make. I wish it was going to be on the pay-per-view. I think it would be better for the pay-per-view, but I think that he's trying to push for those numbers to go up in viewership for Dynamite. It makes sense. Do I agree with it? No, but he's doing it on a business. He's doing it from a businessman's point of view. He's a businessman. Get it? You know the rhyme. You know Jay-Z said it. Get it? What I'm saying is, he's the one that's trying to make sure that people, he knows that his numbers go like this. His numbers do like this. He's trying to stay like this. So which way to stay like this consistently for Wednesday night? You have to push to have these people watch on Wednesdays. And what way to do that? Make make the last hour of Dynamite the main event. He's done it before. Or make it the first hour. I don't know. You can open up the show. You know what I'm saying? Like either hour, it's a 2-hour show. Whichever hour you're gonna, then whoever, my God, the people that get that show, wow.
Very, very, very true all across the board. What y'all are saying. I'm not saying that I think it's a work. I'm not saying that I think it's a shoot. I think that if it was a shoot and he did have an issue with it, they are gonna turn it into a work. So that's what I think at this point.
Eddie said way worse things to him when they were feuding.
Yes.
This is also true. This is also true.
Like
I do think though. I know, but no. But
that's something I was gonna say.
No. I think the Colt Cabana part of this is the part that Punk does take very seriously, because he does not look good in that whole situation, dating back to, and to answer, I know one of the people in the chat had asked Vampire saying, can someone explain to me why Colt Cabana and crying motherfucker Punk are not friends anymore? And CM kind of answered it, and I confirmed this. Phil promised to cover legal bills during the whole lawsuit with the doctor from WWE after the podcast, and then he went back on it, and it, like I said, doesn't make Punk look very good in that situation
at all.
But Krissy,
I disagree with that, but that it makes Punk look bad. I think it makes Colt Cabana look. I don't never believe a motherfucker when they say they're gonna pay your legal bills. I'm sorry. I've known John for 15 years, and John is a lawyer. If he's working at a luxurious law firm and making $1 million a year, and he tells me he's gonna cover my law bills and be my lawyer, I'm gonna believe him. I'm just saying that I work as a paralegal long enough to know that never ends well for anybody when someone says,
and don't have it in writing.
To be fair. Now, granted, I am the CM Punk apologist, but to be fair, Punk did say the idea behind it was that they were going to use the same lawyer.
Yeah.
Colt went and got his own lawyer that was not the lawyer that Punk was saying, this is the guy we should use. This is who we're going to use. And then turned around to Punk. Turned around to Punk and was like, you should pay our bills. And Punk was like, but why? Because what you gotta look at it from is, if it's one law firm and one lawyer and it's representing both clients, the billing is being done once. If it's two lawyers, it's two separate bills that are going to be generating the same, roughly, depending on how people are billed out, the same amount of money, but twice.
Yeah.
There was no reason for Colt to get a second lawyer. That was part of Punk's reasoning.
Yeah, Colt fucked up.
He dropped the ball.
Punk still look grimy. Krissy Love, I know you're gonna grind. Please let the people know where they can find you, sis.
You can find me all the time, every Saturday. True Hill Heat. We do this our flagship show. Happy birthday, happy 5th birthday. Many more to come. I'm sure we will do many more. Again, like you said, we're doing 200 in like a few weeks, which is mind-boggling to me. Anywho, but you can follow me IG, Facebook. Krssi Love _1, and then it's on Twitter is True Hill Krssi Love, serving face and heels. On Sundays, we'll be back most likely probably next week. But you know, the girls are scheduling is crazy. But other than that, you know where to find us. We'll be here. We do watch alongs. We do all podcasts when we can. So thank you. I will talk to you all soon. Bye, my good brothers. Love you all.
Bye, Krssi.
Bye, Krssi.
Take
it easy.
Krssi.
Love you.
Have fun
Bye.
on your vacay and enjoy the weather. All right. Well, one person is down, one person is out, so we got to bring some more people in to celebrate 5 years of True Hill Heat. I told him to come in now because I thought we'd be talking about New Japan by now, but we had a whole reminiscing hour, and we got this big CM Punk story. So first up, I want to introduce the man who is the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he is also an AEW fan, so I want to bring him on for this conversation as well. He is J News. What's going on, good brother J News?
What's going on,
Welcome
gentlemen?
in, brother.
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Well,
Doing all right.
On the
doing all
channel,
right.
back days, man. This is like a record for you.
I'm on tonight too, bro. I'm on tonight too. We got.
You'll be on the sports channel later tonight, J News. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been on the show numerous different times. I believe you were on the show dating back to like True Hill Heat 21, 22, when we were filming in Johnny's apartment. Please let the people know you've been having everybody come on here, share their favorite memory moment or guest from the past 5 years of the True Hill Heat podcast. Let the people know yours.
Favorite. I mean, I'll go to. I think I was there for 26. We were in Johnny's apartment or whatever the case is, and I was hungry as hell. None of y'all wanted to get freaking food. I had to eat during the goddamn freaking stream, and everybody was giving me shit for it. Anyways, but besides that, no, it was. I mean, besides freaking, I think Chicago was probably my favorite of all the streams, even though I wasn't on the show. But like that time we were in Chicago for freaking All In, man, it was fun. It was fun. I'll say that.
All right. Can I shout out to Johnny too and Romeo? I met Johnny in Vegas and his girlfriend for all and brain surgery. You know, I'm sorry about that. Shout out to Johnny, man. He was real cool.
Absolutely. Yes. Shout out to Johnny, the man behind the camera, the producer.
Yes, shout out.
180 plus episodes. Baby Seth, the man, the myth, the legend behind.
I had to do a
camera.
double take last week when I heard his voice during the female draft. Haven't heard Baby Seth's, haven't heard Baby Seth's voice on a True Heel Heat since y'all were still doing the stuff live and in person.
Exactly. But we got another guest here with us. I know he's at work. He doesn't have much time with us because he's a busy man, a father, and a former drunk guy. He is the sober guy now. We've seen so many evolutions of his character. He
like
is
Pokemon.
Now sober guy JJ. What's going on?
What is up, guys?
What's up,
How
good
you
brother?
guys doing on this lovely day? I wanted to be 5 because 5 is my favorite number, and it's the 5-year anniversary. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Fair. That's fair. But thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday momentous occasion. Let the people know what's been your favorite memory of the 5 years of True Hill.
Fuck this show, man. I don't have no good memories of this. Wow, yeah, it's been 3 years since Chicago now?
Yes. True Hill Heat 46.
That was a very interesting that was a very interesting time, my first time, and I thought it would probably be my last the way I was drinking.
Like it.
That was very much fun. I paid for it after. But we had a lot of good moments here. I think we did an anniversary show before when we was at your old job, and like all the guests popped up. That was a good one as well. So it's been some monumentous moments here. Over here at the True Hill Heat flagship store. Thinking about work. True Hill Heat flagship.
Flagship store, flagship podcast, same difference, different day. Jay News, I want to ask you, since you're coming in during this whole conversation we're having about the CM Punk Hangman Page drama with AEW fearing that he might have quit coming out of this. We had John, the CM Punk attorney, put a good argument of why he believes this is a work. What do you think about this whole situation with Punk having real life heat with Hangman Adam Page and making that off-scripted jab at Page during Dynamite this week?
It's wrestling, man. It's all the work to me. I don't care. It's all the work to me.
Yeah.
Real drama, fake drama. At the end of the day, it's all about ratings. It's all about getting eyes on the freaking product. And if they do have some sort of an issue, Tony Khan seems like one of those dudes who's going to sit both of these dudes down, have them talk it out, and get on with it or whatever the case is. So it adds fuel to the fire or whatever the case is. And
Right.
we'll see the match next week. I don't know what the main event for the pay-per-view is going to be. We'll see how that goes. But that's my thoughts on what's going on in AEW, man.
What about you, drunk guy? What do you think about this whole real life heat between Punk and Page? And what do you think about the decision of AEW to push up Moxley versus Punk for next week's Dynamite?
I'm gonna start with the Hangman part. Punk was a dickhead for that. That was corny. Even like I said, you could tell even how he talked about it. You could tell that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm just thinking, what the fuck is he doing? And then as the promo keeps going on, it's like, yo, what is good with Punk right now? Did he join the dark side, start doing drugs? I didn't appreciate that. But whatever. As for them pushing it up, I feel like between that hour, between the promo with him and Moxley, something must have happened backstage. Between that hour, because I'm like, why the fuck is Moxley out randomly coming back out? I feel like something happened. Something happened between that hour, between his promo and that, to lead up to that happening. I don't think we get a clean finish next week. I feel like something happens in that match to lead up to them still having a match at All Out. Because we literally have less than 2 weeks to the fucking pay-per-view. We don't even have a main event. What the hell is going on? So it's AEW is usually good at booking their matches leading up to the show. We only have 2 announced matches. Yeah, we legit today's 2 weeks left for the show. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. This is a very weird. I don't know what the fuck Punk was thinking. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is clearly a reoccurring thing with Crybaby Phil, and I like CM Punk a lot. I'm a big Punk fan. I am ecstatic, just like everybody else was when he came back last year. But this, like you said, like Jay News said, you know, when it comes to wrestling, you don't know what to believe anymore, to be honest.
It's all the
I feel
work.
like it's so factual, you don't know what to believe. So it's like, maybe this is leading all the backstage dirt sheet bullshit. Because remember, everybody thought Punk wasn't even going to be ready. His foot was still fucked up, right? That's what they said. They said he wasn't going to be ready for All Out. And look what happened. So maybe this is all leading up to him turning heel, so the fans don't fuck with him. Because Punk takes his character work very serious when it comes to. That's what Punk does. So maybe this is maybe this is what they want to come out, because Hangman is a love babyface. Maybe this is something to come out for them to hate Punk more. So that's what I think happens on Wednesday. I feel like he does some corny shit to Moxley, which leads to a crappy finish or whatever the case may be, to lead into him being fully healed going into Chicago, which I think will not work because of Chicago.
yeah, I don't know about that. If that's the plan right there, we do have a couple of super chat donations. Thank you so much, guys, for showing the support. You guys are killing it with those super chat donations in the chat. We got CM who says SP3 brought me, Krissy keeps me here, and and the disclaimers. Yes, CM is the attorney for Jimmy Macaram and lets me know every single time, whether it's in the chat, in the comments, on Discord. She lets me know if I correctly gave him the good amount of disclaimers and what was a fair disclaimer and what was not. And I always appreciate you for that, CM. We also got Slam and Sammy Joe, who says he's Over man, Sammy Joe now with the super
Hangover
chat donation. Thank you. Saying much love to chat who gave the professor a gimmick during that episode that was so fun and lively. True heel for life. Yes, it was great for sure. Sammy Joe, thank you for always being a loyal supporter of the channel. EBB saying, I don't want to think that this is correlated at all, but could that drama be any reason as to why they just haven't booked Hangman much post Double or Nothing? What do you think about the whole booking of Hangman? If we are to believe this is a work,
it's been fucking awful.
Oh my god,
it has been very bad.
Not just Hangman, it just seems like a lot of guys in AEW at the moment are kind of lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the remedy is for this situation, but it just feels like that. Well, I mean, there's only so much TV that you could get.
A guy like Hangman, who's one of your most over superstars in the fucking company, should not be booked like this right now.
It's atrocious.
He's coming off of losing the belt in the main event. Granted, things happen, Punk got hurt, whatever case may be. But Hangman Hangman, like what you just saw, Hangman should not be sitting in catering.
Well, at least Hangman's name comes up, though. What if you're like the Varsity Blondes?
Yeah, but his name comes up. Varsity Blondes get more TV time than him.
No, they were on TV for like 10 seconds, and then you just find out like the ass boys are more valuable than you. I think there's a lot of sentiments like that are probably in AEW that extends past just Hangman, you know?
He's not even booked for anything for All Out. Now I think about it.
No.
He's one of your top baby faces. What sense does that make?
FTR is booked in a trios match.
Well, they're in a trios.
Satnam Singh.
Don't get me started. Don't get me.
These are the only
Hasn't it been like a year since the TNT Championship was defended on a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Right.
All Out 2021 with Kingston and Miro was the last time.
That was it?
Damn, really?
That's the last time the TNT title has been defended on a pay-per-view.
I thought that was
Yeah, something's got to give. Something seriously has to give. But yeah, well, maybe Punk doing what he did, maybe that gets him in the title picture. Who knows?
One would hope. The other part of this whole story with Hangman and Punk is a greater story that Wrestling Observer newsletter reported, talking about that Page was backstage when Punk mentioned him and knew nothing about it. Same for everyone else. It was said that everyone backstage was confused about what Punk was doing. It was not an angle, although could be made one later on. However, the larger story is that there is said to be a lot of backstage drama, quote unquote, involving many of the top guys in All Elite Wrestling. The situation is said to be worse than usual in recent weeks. It's said that several people are close to their breaking point, quote unquote, if things aren't resolved soon. One of the big issues that started the drama is that Colt Cabana was almost cut from the company and was instead moved to Ring of Honor. There are reportedly different stories as to why that happened, including Page and Punk. And that's why I said, like, I don't fully agree with what StatKing is saying here, because I feel the fact that Colt Cabana had 1 foot out the door, and it took Matt and Nick Jackson to kind of speak up for him to get him his deal with ROH, tells me that Punk still has hard feelings when it comes to Colt Cabana. I think that the issues there are 1% acute.
When it comes to Colt Cabana, I'll agree completely. Everything else I feel like is a work. Maybe yes. I said Eddie said worse things about him. Maybe that what Hangman. This guy's like monitoring us. What Hangman said about Cole. But one thing I do want to add. You know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of interesting. MJF has this whole promo about ex-WWE guys, people not being treated properly, this, that, and the third. And just a couple months later, we're hearing rumors that Tony may be losing control of his locker room, that things are getting worse than normal. It just feels really, really neatly tied together to this, what people are believing is a worked shoot promo from Max.
Could be. I want to ask.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, isn't Max due back sometime soon?
Allegedly, yeah.
Yes.
That's what the reports
allegedly.
are.
Might be Wednesday.
All right. So I
Allegedly.
mean, at this point, if he's allegedly due back soon, and all this drama is going on, yeah, I don't buy it, man. It's all a fucking work to me. I don't.
That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
From some good points.
Look, at the end of the day, if people are at their breaking point, and a lot of these guys just got to AEW, that's a problem, right? Like if this is legit serious stuff, and you just got there, that's an issue, right? Because you only have 3 actual hours of TV spread out through 5 days in a week. It's not WWE where it's 7 hours of television or whatever the case is where you can get it, right? So it's like you have to understand. You got to wait your turn, guys. A lot of you guys were mentioning before about how bad Hangman Page's booking has been the last couple of months since he lost the championship. No shit. Where are you gonna fit him? They just created the freaking trios championship thing. Who you gonna have him go up against if he just help? Right, he's got to start at the bottom of the list again. So it's like, all right, do you book him? Do you get not the complete before Adam Page lost the championship was? Well, you're not giving enough TV time to the new guys. What about the young guys? So they're giving the young guys the fucking push now, and now it's what about Adam Page?
Yeah, the Hangman Page is the last person I feel sorry for on that roster, just because of what Jay News just said. He's there, man. And even if he's not on TV, his name is still. I feel more bad for the Varsity Blondes and the women on that roster.
Ain't nobody give a fuck about the Varsity Blondes.
Oh, the women.
I feel bad for the women. Yes. I feel bad for the women.
I care about everybody that doesn't feel that their art is getting showcased the way that it should be.
You want Varsity Blondes to be tag champs?
I don't want it. Come on, man. Let's stop that. I thought you were sober guy, JJ. Now,
I was just about to say.
I am sober.
Okay. No, I don't want them to be tag champs, but I mean, I think if you're gonna put them on TV just to have them look like dorks, that's a WWE thing that happens. You know,
I mean, the shoe fits wear it, right? They do look like.
I'm not gonna do because this is a scripted show and they're written to be dorks. So, and I've seen Brian Pillman Jr. written to be not a dork. So, I mean,
that's fair.
You know,
Pillman Jr. looked great during Ric Flair's last match. He looked better than he's looked
in
AEW in like a year.
Sure. So, I mean,
Pillman Jr.'s run at MLW
was
better
just
than the stuff that he's been doing
exactly
on AEW. So
100%.
He had actual development in MLW.
Yeah, man. It's the lack of the TV time, right? And now, now with the merger at Warner being done and Zaslav trying to cut ties everywhere else, you don't even know if AEW is going to get re-upped at the end of the day. So dudes are scrambling right now to see as to what's going to hit, you know. So at this point, people are going to be shit out of luck. And if they're lacking the understanding of the business side of it, it's like either sit in catering or go back to WWE and sit in catering there. You're not going to get TV time there either. You know
either way, you're going to be having some good catering.
Right. It's like there's only two. It's a duopoly, right? Mm-hmm. And there's only 2 places for these guys to go. And if you're treated like a dork in one company, unless you're like an A-lister, the chances of you getting treated like a dork in the other company are about the same.
Yeah, pretty much. But one last question, so we wrap things up with this news story. What should Tony Khan do to kind of address these backstage issues and drama within AEW? Because this is not the first instance that we've heard about either miscommunications or backstage drama in AEW. It seems to be more prevalent now than it's ever been since its inception in 2019. What do you guys think they should do?
I got an idea. Stop being a fucking mark and be a businessman. There you go.
That's the point.
Yeah, good point.
I actually think that Tony Khan is. I think he's a astute businessman. I think his biggest issue is that he's hired all these guys. And I don't disagree with him for doing it, but he doesn't know what to do with everybody. And the honeymoon phase in AEW is clearly over. I'll give him credit that the backstage drama television that much. Because in WWE, when the backstage drama is there on TV, the show looks horrible, and I don't think AEW's had any horrible shows yet. Maybe not great shows, but not horrible. So.
Yeah, even someone like Jimmy Macaram, who criticized AEW, has not given him a thumbs down quite yet. So they haven't gone that far yet. We do have a couple more super chat donations I want to highlight here before we move on. EVB saying, "This is wrestling, lads. We can't have a civil conversation and talk things out. If you have a problem with someone, you got to talk on TV." Good point. Great point.
Yeah.
I appreciate you putting that out there.
Had to say, you got me there.
That's facts out there, yo. Put it on television, or we're not making money off of it. Like, or you want to talk about it backstage? No, don't do that. Put it on TV so we can make some money off of this. We got Chase Oliver with a super chat donation again. Thank you so much, good brother. Saying Punk's pettiness is over 9,000. I don't care what you think. Gotta respect the hatred for this man can hold.
Gotta respect it. Why would you respect that? How would you
I mean, this man Punk is the real life white stink meaner. He is stink mean. He just ain't old yet. That man is the real life white stink meaner.
Instead of saying the N-word, he's saying the C-word all the time.
Yeah, I've been in and out of court a bunch of times. I don't take lawsuits personally. I feel like once you have it arbitrated in court, that means that you guys couldn't figure things out on your own. So you got a court to do it. Once they do it, you should be able to at least coexist together. Maybe, that's just my legal brain, professor of political science brain working. But I just think I do agree that it's kind of petty at this point.
Yeah, and finally, EBB with one last super chat donation here saying, "Planned or not, it's stupid in my opinion. Mox versus Punk 1 should be the pay-per-view main event. Now we'll get a 1 week build, whatever the main event is." Yeah. I don't. If you couldn't come up with better ideas, or man, after that promo on Wednesday, I didn't want a match. I wanted more promos between them.
Yes,
because Punk said every one line, one zinger he could say about Moxley, but Moxley has a lot he could say about Punk.
Could have a contract signing.
This is the TV era, like Jay News just said though. Zaslav at WBD is cutting everything and everybody. Their price is way
Left
too high.
Right.
You need to cut it. And I think actually AEW. I think Zaslav and those guys actually like AEW, and I think TK wants to keep it like that. So, from a storyline standpoint, it makes no sense to me. But in this television landscape, I kind of see why you would put that on TV, because what's going to be more valuable to TK in the long run?
Yeah.
The pay-per-view side of things or the television side of things?
Yeah, the real money is in the TV. That is a great point.
As long as the ad revenue and everything else in between is still there, then they should be good money. To give an answer to your initial question as to what TK should do from a professional standpoint, from a structural standpoint, he should hire a true head of talent relations.
Correct.
No disrespect to Pat Buck, no disrespect to the fallen angel, but he's got to get somebody in there to take care of business, because this is real drama. They got a nip this in the bud.
Right.
I love CD.
And even so, with that, you said about, of course, TV is more important, but you got to also remember, All Out is your biggest pay-per-view for AEW. So you guys are not building a proper main event. This also doesn't help you either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, great points, J News, Drunk Guy JJ. I know StatKing, you gotta run, but let the people know where they can find you on the Twitch channel, YouTube, everything you've been doing, good brother. And of course, you were on the Late Night Grin this past week as well. So let the people know where they can find that.
You guys can catch me on Dark Power every week covering AEW Dark, Elevation, and NWA Power. You can also catch me on our Twitch channel, Rampage Wrap Up with the True Draw Josh, covering everything that happens on AEW Rampage. You can catch me on THH Sports. I'm one of the co-hosts with Romeo and Top Guy of the football side of things. We go live every Thursday, usually around 10 p.m. Eastern time, talk about football. We're going to be continuing our division breakdowns, and then as the season starts, we're going to be kicking things into high gear there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for this episode. 5 years is absolutely incredible. There's been a lot of, like Sid was saying earlier, Sid and I have known each other for 15 years, and to think of where he and I both were when we first met, to think where we are now, it's been absolutely incredible. And I can't imagine having a better group of people to have been on this ride with over the years. So I want to say thank you to everybody. J News, just remember there's 3 things in life that are guaranteed: death, taxes, Gato hating Naito.
That's right.
Because I know we're gonna be covering. You guys are gonna be talking about the G1 later, and you guys did the review, so I wanted to leave you with that. And yeah, I had a great time on Late Night Grin. Joe Hulbert is an awesome guy. Thanks for having me there. And thanks to everybody. Oh, and I want to thank everybody for bopping their heads along to the theme music that I make for all the shows. That's always fun.
And tell them about
The Jim
your
Johnson.
album.
True Hill
The
Heat.
beats
Yeah,
go
the Jim
hard.
Johnson.
Jim Johnson, the CFO of True Hill Heat. Let the people know about
Jimmy Hart.
your album, sir.
On Wednesday I put out my first album. It's like
Just went platinum.
it's like lo-fi chill hop music that you can just play in the background while you're cooking, while you're reading, while you're cleaning, whatever it is that you're doing. It's that kind of music that you can just vibe out to.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't think I have the Instagram or anything like that, but you can just search Pearson on Spotify or a Wild Lepo, LEPO, and you will find it. So thanks guys for everything, and 5 years, another 5, another 10, another 15, another 20.
Yes, sir.
We're all going to be in our like 50s and 60s doing this. It's going to be great.
Yeah. And thank you for covering AEW Dark, StatKing.
For me, that's actually what's really cool is because now that I do Rampage Wrap Up, I watch everything every week that AEW does. And if there's one thing that I would say that I think TK could do to really help the product is revamp what Dark is. I would create a championship on Dark. And what I would do is what NWA does with their TV title is they have this lucky number 7 thing where if you have 7 title defenses, you can vacate the title and challenge for the world title. What I would do for Dark is I would have a title that's similar. You have a certain number of defenses, you vacate, and you can challenge for the TNT championship. And I think that would help create more reason to watch Dark. Because, I mean, when we've had Pac defending the All-Atlantic Championship, it's been absolutely stellar. So giving more reasons for people to watch those shows. Because to Jay News's point, there's only 3 hours. There's only 3 hours of TV time. But there is unlimited amount of YouTube time. So if you create reasons for people to watch those YouTube shows, and then you do more on Dynamite and Rampage to reference those shows, as opposed to just saying, Ty Conti defeated somebody nobody's ever heard of, then it helps build your overall product and build cohesiveness across the brands. And look, Tony's trying to kick off. It seems as though to me he's trying to kick off some kind of a crazy storyline, but he's now going to have to watch the Jaguars go like 3-14. So he's got a lot of things now coming up that he's got to worry about. It's time to delegate better to the people that need to get things delegated to. So, and that's to bring a title in a full circle. That's one of the awesome things about being able to do True Heels with Sid is because Sid lets everybody do what they need to do to make the best thing that we can put in front of you guys on a week-to-week basis. And with that, I'm heading out. So thanks, guys, again. I'll catch you all later.
Take it easy, brother.
Later, StatKing.
Take it easy, good brother. Thank you for joining us for the 5-year anniversary here. I see work is getting busier for you, Drunk Guy. Do you want to bid adieu as well?
That's not really busy, but I guess I should go be a manager, lead by example, right?
Let people know where they can find you, Go Next, and all those places.
You can follow the Sober Guy on Instagram, Hacksaw_J_Duggan, Twitter, Sober Guy JJ now. So I gotta change.
Yeah,
the
Sober Guy. Forgot to edit that.
And you already know where the gang is at. We're here, 5 years. Congrats, Sid. It's been a wild ride. I've been on True Hill for 3 years now. Man. Who knew being drunk in Chicago would get me this far? So
Part of something
shout out to everybody
special.
here on the chat, all the people who've been supporting us for this long, even before I even got here. Shout out to all those guys too. You know, it's been a long ride. That's what she said. And you guys enjoy. You already know where to follow the gang. The show's not over, so I'm not going to do the outro. It's weird. But you guys have a good day.
Take care, man.
Thank you, good
All right, guys.
brother. Thank
Later,
you for
JJ.
joining us here
Later, JJ.
for the 4-year anniversary.
Absolutely.
And as always, we appreciate everything you do for the channel. Good brother.
Absolutely, man. I'll see y'all later.
Later, bro. But yes, we got to talk more about all the stuff that went down this week. So let's talk about what we missed. I did see in the live chat here is the good brother Alan Weinstein. I did see you in the back end. Come on board if you still have time. We just had a lot of people on screen here, so I had to feature them. But he sends us a super chat donation, a big one. Once again, thank you, Alan Weinstein, our favorite Jew in the live chat, saying tried to pop in for a few to say thanks, but only had a few minutes to be online. My bad. Thanks again for always keeping it 100%. This show is always the best part of my Saturday mornings, and thank you so much for everything you do, and you're gonna be doing more for us in the future, Alan Weinstein, and great job with what you're doing over on your channel with Annika, with CAM, with Slam and Sammy Joe, doing great stuff over there as well. So thank you for that super chat donation, and thanks for always showing love for sure. But let's talk about what we missed this past week. AEW Dynamite this past week, 957,000 viewers. The show featured the aforementioned electric promo exchange between CM Punk and Jon Moxley that led to 2 separate pull-apart brawls between the two during the night to set up the AEW Undisputed Championship match next week on Dynamite in Cleveland. You also had Bryan Danielson defeat Daniel Garcia in an excellent best 2 out of 3 falls match. You had the post match with Danielson trying to show respect to Garcia by shaking his hand, but Chris Jericho attacked Bryan from behind until Garcia pulled him off the American Dragon. He had the Gun Club squashing the Varsity Blondes, like Professor Kris brought up earlier. Post match, Billy told his sons that he was proud of them before Stokely Hathaway came out to signal them to attack their own father, until the Acclaim made the same and save and reunited with Daddy Ass. And yes, they scissored me, Daddy Ass. Tony Storm beat Kylan King to set up her versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's World Championship at All Out. You had Kenny Omega making his triumphant return to team with the Young Bucks in the World Trios tournament to defeat Andrade El Idolo and Rush and Dragon Lee to advance in the tournament. Post-match, Rush and Andrade turned on Dragon Lee.
Hold that for a minute. What was that about? Because I got no information on that. He got his freaking Lee got his mask taken off, and they went off there. Like, what was that? What's happening?
Apparently they had to rush the ending to the matchup, and of course, with the ending to the matchup being rushed, they also had to rush through that post-match angle. I would just say, don't do it on the show, do it after the show, and then play it and put some focus on it on Rampage. Like that would have been way better than what we got.
The Tony Schiavone moments were back on Nitro back in the day, where he'd be like, "We are out of time," or something. It feels the exact same way. TNT, they need to stop this shit, man. Let the thing play out and then go to whatever movies, the Star Wars movie or DC or Marvel movie you're going to show. This is stupid, in my opinion. I hate it.
Okay, so CM is saying it opened Rampage. I'm like, they usually put the clips on YouTube, so I was looking forward to see as to like what the actual deal was gonna be, and I still got there's no
content.
Because all they showed on the website was Kenny Omega talking. I didn't see what happened with dude.
They didn't even put up the video on their social media, so they didn't like how it came across either. Apparently,
They fucked
haven't-
that up.
Yeah, because
They
you can
showed
see
it.
it.
They
Go
showed
ahead.
it on Rampage, but I don't think they opened the
Nah.
show with that. They opened with Claudio coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know me, I'm a fan of those guys, and for me to see freaking Ryu Lee get taken out by his own brother and then get his mask taken off, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This is important. Like, that
Yeah.
spot was ridiculous with him and Kenny Omega or whatever. But it's like, if you're gonna give some sort of light or shine a light on your Latin wrestlers, right, or whatever the case is, make it feel important or whatever. You rush it off of TV, you don't even bring it up anymore. That's part of the issue as to why people supposedly they're at their boiling point with freaking AEW. It's stuff like that, bro. It's like they're cutting corners where they shouldn't. So I don't know. We'll see.
Gotta get it together with that.
Sorry. Hello.
No, go ahead.
I do, and that what Jay News just said, and why are the tag champs never on Dynamite? This is starting to get on my fucking nerves. Because it's really like, I gave them a month and they're still doing this shit, man. Like, it's like when certain guys get titles, melanated guys, I don't see them on Dynamite the way I should. And those guys need to have a match on Dynamite or a segment on Dynamite at least every other week. That's my opinion.
I totally agree. Well, they had their brief promo segment, but it wasn't anything that anyone would remember at the
Nothing
end.
to write home about.
I completely forgot about it. So
Yeah, it was only to build the match on Rampage, which we'll get into some notes coming out of Dynamite. Following Dynamite, Omega cut a promo to the fans saying, athletic tape, medical devices or not, you're going to get Kenny Omega 2 somehow by a stroke of luck. And because these guys, the Young Bucks, are better than you even know, they're incredible. We were able to survive tonight. We're alive in this tournament. Matt Jackson then noted that the audience have been booing the Young Bucks, which led to some laughter and boos. Omega said, he's got a point, and maybe I should be mad too. Maybe I should be mad too, because the reason I'm in this state right now, the reason I have to have 3, sometimes 4 sessions of physical rehab every single day is because of you. Maybe I should hate each and every one of you because I come back not here for you guys. I come out here for you guys. It's never for me. So what I need to do right now, I need to be a little strange. I don't get out much, so I became a strange individual. I'm going to liken you guys to a mischievous cat who pees and poops all over the house. Boy, do I get mad when I find it. Boy, do I get mad when I have to clean it. But heck, how can I hate a little kitty cat? He concluded, so on TV, I may blame you guys. I may hold some resentment to you guys, but perhaps deep down inside, as long as this never gets aired, I do very much appreciate you. Thank you very much.
That was such a weird promo, but it was so great just for him to be back, because he was making the cat analogy, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the Kenny that we've been missing.
The Kenny we've been missing.
That's Kenny Omega in a nutshell for you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a character, and I love. You gotta love him.
That's what we pay for.
Yep, get what we pay for. On Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, an update was given on Omega and Lee, particularly after that nasty dive in the middle of the match. Omega was placed on the barricade, and Lee dived onto him, knocking them over to the floor. Meltzer noted that both were fine after that spot, and Lee was fine after a V-trigger appeared to knock him out. The two were simply selling. With Omega in particular, the story they're telling is that he's not 100% and came back too early. It will be a ring rust storyline and the plan for him to gradually get better with each match. This is just a story as he was okay and none of his previous issues were aggravated. It was noted that his shoulder is an issue, but it was not due to this specific match. It was also noted that the final angle of Andrade and Rush turning on Lee and unmasking him was rushed for time. Everything in the final 2 minutes was rushed, as everyone was told to go right to the finish after it had been planned to go longer. And Dragon Lee says his days as a member of La Faction Faction Ingonables are over after Wednesday's AEW Dynamite. Lee wrote on Twitter, "From now on, I'm no longer in La Faction Ingobernable." Andrade replied to the post with the tweet mockingly, prompting the latter to write, "I didn't think they were going to portray me like that. Well, maybe you, Andrade, but again, my brother, Roosh, the strongest people are not the ones who always win, but the people who never give up when they lose." Andrade followed up by saying, "You are a great fighter, but it hurts that you are a technical, a babyface. At Dragon Lee 95, you never adapted to the style of the unruly, but I know you and you have a great future. I just hope we never run into each other in a ring. What could be worse?" And then Roosh added, "You are a figure. Too bad you're a technical and you don't like the Rudo side. I love you, brother, and if one day you decide to be a true Ingonable, you already know what is needed here while you continue on your way." I mean, honestly, after his performance on Wednesday, Dragon Lee needs to be signed by AEW like
that
immediately.
man was performing like he was asking, like that, like he's like, "Here's my resume, Tony. Watch and learn."
I feel like a lot of the time when we get like new or the international wrestlers premiere on like a Dynamite or a Rampage and whatnot, it goes on, and these guys, they excite, they impress, and everything else in between. Because I'm speaking for myself, I've been exposed to Dragon Lee for years. I was like, that wasn't nothing new to me.
Yeah.
That was like what he did was just another day at the freaking, you know what I'm saying? But like the thing that popped me the most and still has me a little confused was the unmasking part, because of what it means in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're drawing into a storyline from the tweets that Sid just read. So it can be that we won't see Dragon Lee again, but we'll see his unmasked version, maybe, or something of that extent. So I'll wait and see as to what how that's going to go down. Because a match versus him and Andrade, I'd want to see that. I'd pay money for that.
Need something, because he's so good. Like whenever he was still before the pandemic kicked off, when he was firing on all cylinders in New Japan, you know, like he was in the conversation for one of the best in the world. And I hope we see more of him, you know, wherever that may be, AEW, what have you. Like he's a top guy, like a top athlete.
Yeah, and his match with Roosh was amazing at Death Before Dishonor.
Yes,
So
for sure.
I'd be here for some Dragon Lee and Andrade. We got another run-in guest with us, joining us from our Patreon backers. I want to give him the opportunity to share any favorite memories, moments, guests from our True Hill Heat 5 years of our flagship podcast. One of our loyal Patreon backers, the DJ of the True Hill Heat, outside of StatKing, of course, is DJ Eric joining us. Thank you for joining us, brother. Appreciate you.
What's up, man?
You're here with us. He muted himself.
He might be muted.
I hear him now.
Still don't.
I don't either.
All right, yeah.
He said he got to figure it out. He got to figure it out. While he figures that out, I do want to into some G1 Climax, because I know we don't have J News for long, so want to get into that very early. New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 32. Week 4 was this past week. The end of the tournament. Night 17 saw Kenta eliminate Hiroshi Tanahashi from the running in the C block, while Yoshihashi beat David Finlay to prevent him from winning the D block. You had night 18 was the final block night, with Will Ospreay beating Juice Robinson and El Phantasmo defeating Shingo Takagi for Ospreay to win the D block. You had Tetsuya Naito defeat Zack Sabre Jr. in 1 minute 58 seconds to win the C block. You also had one of the bigger upsets of the tournament, Tama Tonga defeating Jay White to win the B block. You also had Kazuka Okada beat Lance Archer to win the A block, and that led into the semifinals where Okada defeated Tama Tonga in a very good bout, while Ospreay beat Naito in a tremendous first time ever main event. Then it was finally the finals of the G1 Climax 32 tournament, and we got a bona fide match of the year candidate and certified instant classic with Kazuchika Okada defeating Will Ospreay in 34 minutes to win the G1 Climax 32 tournament. What a week for Kazuchika Okada, because he also added to his huge week where he and his wife, Suzuki Momori, who is a singer and an actress, welcomed their first child, a baby boy, to the world. So congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Kazuchika Okada. J News.
Sure.
What do you think about the G1 Climax 32 tournament overall, and what did you think about the classic of Ospreay and Okada? And then finally, what do you think about our winner, the 4-time G1 Climax winner, Kazuchika Okada, 2 years straight for Okada, and this time over Ospreay?
Well, it's like I mentioned to you during our review, right? First things first, congratulations to my boy Kaz Kazuchika Okada for the win here. A win number 2 in a row, 4 overall. As like I stated before, I feel like New Japan's trying to get him on that same level or maybe above what Masachono met to New Japan Pro Wrestling during the late 80s and the 90s. So I think he'll eventually surpass him, just because he's 34 years old. I don't think he's done. He's far from done with wrestling, anyways. So at the end of the day, I think that he's going to be the greatest champion wrestler from New Japan ever at this point, with the way that they've been booking him. Secondarily, with the tournament overall, I liked it, man. I think that obviously we got a bunch of bangers throughout the entire tournament. Yoshihashi stood out. Jonas stood out. David Finlay stood out. For all intents and purposes, I would say, Tom Lawler, he got over with the Japanese folks. So, I got to give him that. I gotta give him that.
I love that guy.
He definitely got over it with
Wake
his
up
clapping
and smell the
roses.
roses.
What else, man, that I can mention? I mean, I didn't mention this during our review. And I should have probably put him as my LVP. We didn't even mention the Great Okan, Sid. We did not mention the Great Okan.
My boy.
Based Okan.
You know, J News.
That's the guy.
I've been on the Okan bandwagon since G1 Climax 31 with his matchup with Zack Sabre Jr. when these motherfuckers didn't hit the ropes at all. They didn't even not just go out the ring. They didn't hit the ropes in this match except 3 times. And I was like, oh, that was one of my favorite matches of the tournament. And I've been on the Okan bandwagon before he was riding inflatable mechanical dicks in Las Vegas. I've been on the Okan bandwagon, and I'm glad to hear it. Let's hear some Okan love from you, J News.
Ain't no love. I was gonna say he's got the LVP, man. At the end of the day, he didn't do nothing.
Hey, you're bugging. You're bugging. One of the best matches of the tournament was Okan versus Jay White. Okan versus Jay White.
That was a good match.
I'll give him the one match. I'll give him the one match. Everything else was subpar. After everyone in True Heel Heat told me, J News, you should follow Okan on Instagram. It's the greatest Instagram feed known to man. I was like, man, what y'all talking about? And then I'm going through the feed and I'm like, now I get it. And I was like, you over here talking about him riding inflatable dicks in freaking Vegas. I'm over here seeing the man in the jacuzzi getting his nipple sucked by some girl. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Show some love to that man.
And he's getting paddled in the middle of a restaurant.
It's
for not finishing his meal.
But I had to mention Okan there, man. But for all intents and purposes, match of the year candidate, as you stated, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada. I mean, damn, son. Like, I thought FTR with their tag matches with the Briscoes had it kind of like locked down for the year, because like I felt like there wasn't going to be anything that was going to beat those matches, and then this happened. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. The new best bout machine in Will Ospreay. Let's be honest. The man's a
the British best bout machine.
Exactly. So, big props to Will. I'm not necessarily sure as to where he's going to go from here, but hopefully just more exciting matches and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I like the tournament. The tournament was definitely well put together. They could do better with if they're going to keep the whole 4-block thing. They can do better with story continuity. Having 1 block per night, I think would work better for better understanding for folks, and stuff like that. And as you know, I hate the tag matches. Get rid of the goddamn tag matches unless you have to do the house shows. Outside of that, let's keep it simple.
Fair criticism all around. I know Nick Jackson, you kind of sounded like you agree with Alan Weinstein here, who was pissed that Okada won. Fuck Okada. What's
I'm
your
not
thoughts
going
on
that.
Okada win?
I'm not going that far because love Okada. Go Okada, one of the greatest going. Just to give my thoughts on the tournament real quick overall, it was really good. I do agree with Jay News on the tag matches because, I'm fast forwarding through those unless it's people that I really want to see. But it was a really good tournament with the 4-block format, lots of good matches. Let me just talk about real quick someone I'm definitely going to be watching after this. Just talk about Jonah real quick and that monster win he got against Okada, just because. Like that was one of my favorite matches of the whole tournament. Really good match, and then just when Jonah just caught him out of the air and nailed him with that power bomb, and he went up to the ropes and hit him with that splash. Because the New Japan crowd, I'm pretty sure they're still not allowed to technically cheer and use their voices, just clapping. But once he hit that power bomb and he jumped off that top rope, you could hear the roar from the crowd. Like you just heard the and the gas, and it was perfect. Like Jonah, I think, and is someone that they're gonna have big plans for, and someone they see a lot of promise in if they just had him beat Okada in the G1. So I'll be paying attention to that. Yeah. Great performance throughout the whole thing with Will Ospreay. He had a banger with Shingo, and like you said, a match of the year candidate with Okada. I was watching it, the finals with my mom, and I'm on the edge of my seat because I told her, I'm like, Ospreay's my guy for the win. Like, he's got to have this. But then, like I said, Okada, you're amazing. I love you, but I just want something a little bit different. But I get that he's that guy. Like, he's amazing.
I want the Naito. I want the Naito.
Sid,
I don't care what anybody says. But Gato, like StatKing said earlier, Gato fucking hates this man. He hates this man like Tony Khan hates vaginas and people of tanner complexions. I swear to God, Gato hates Naito
with extreme
Naito
prejudice.
Speaks Spanish. I don't know what's going on. It's ridiculous.
I loved Naito and Ospreay though. That was amazing. And when I saw that we were getting that for the first time ever, loved it. Also, props to Tama Tonga for winning the was it the D block or
B block?
Yeah, for winning the D block. Yeah, beating Jay White, and since he beat the champion, that kind of gives him a little bit of a claim to maybe make a challenge down the line. Overall good tournament. I'm itching to see. I don't see anyone beating Okada for the briefcase in the lead up to Wrestle Kingdom. So, I guess him and Jay White are good dance partners, so that'll be good if that's what their plan is. It's just in that moment when Okada pinned him, just the life sucked out of me. I haven't been that upset with a Go ahead.
I can understand being upset Okada won, but I will not take this type of blasphemy from Alan Weinstein, who says Okada is the Roman Reigns of NJPW. He is trash, no real personality. Real personality? Are you fucking kidding?
That's a disservice to Okada and Roman Reigns.
Landslide, Tombstone, Cobra Explosion, Rainmaker, the
Money
drop
Clip,
kick, the greatest drop kick,
the best drop
kick
kick in the fucking business,
the best drop kick of all time. Money Clip. I just named about a double the amount of moves that you said. Sorry, 5 moves of doom. No, I named 6. He just doesn't move the needle for. How does it? He doesn't move the needle for you. Was the only thing you had right. It's for you. You made sure you put for you because he moves the needle in Japan. He was voted #1, the most popular star in Japan. You don't watch his matches if you think he has 5 moves to do. This is one of your worst comments
a terrible
ever.
Take, man. I love you, bro, but that is an atrocious take. Okada, yeah, that's what we're saying, Chase. What? Like, no, man. What are you saying? Even when he's in America, like people that watch New Japan casually, everyone knows most people know who Okada is.
Yeah,
he got a pop in
in Milwaukee, coming out like he was an uncle at a cookout.
Like he was a pissed off guy. As soon as the crowd hit that coin, as soon as that coin, everybody to their feet.
Yeah, man. I mean, I get Mr. Weinstein's point on Kenta. Why don't they push Kenta? I pushed for Kenta. I want Kenta to do better things in New Japan.
I'm sure Gato hates Kenta too.
But Gato hates Kenta too. So
it's like you were a Noah. He's like you were a Noah guy. Psh, fuck out.
Kenta just really loves his book.
I was just like, he's like, screw the G1. I'm worried about selling this book.
Bestseller in Japan. Can't even get a copy nowadays.
But
can they get an English translation of that? I will definitely buy it if they translate it to English.
I loved covering the G1 Climax 32 with you, Jay News. I don't know if you have more time for us or not, but I want to give you the chance to let the people know where they can find you on social media and what you'll be doing next when it comes to New Japan. We got some big shows the rest of the year.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can find me on the Instagram _JONJY. I barely post, but I'll comment here and there, whatever. Tag me on shit, and I'm there to communicate and do the exchanges. I'm all present. World Tag League's coming, so I'm finna cover that. That should be something good.
Nice.
I'll be live at the show they have here in New York come October 28th. So I will be from there. Johnny, I think Johnny, you're watching somewhere in the background, brother. Me and you, we finna shoot some live outside of the gates when that show's done.
I'll be there too.
There you go.
Oh, awesome.
We'll do something live. Me at SP3 and Johnny.
You'll be back in the States
for some point. Also, they got a show coming at the end of September. I forget what the name of it is right now.
Burning Spirit, and then they got the Royal Quest here in the UK. So.
I forgot they had the Royal Quest coming. Okay, so there you go. SP3 mentioning all these shows. That's 4 shows coming up before the end of the year. I'm sure the Super J Cup will be announced sometime soon, so that'll be covered as well. And also, you guys can catch me on True Heel Heat Sports as well. I will be live and in color tonight for that Anthony Joshua fight. So stay on the lookout for that. I'm up out, man. I gotta go do the damn thing.
I understand, good brother. I've been good with these silent codes when it's time for people to go. But Thank you for joining us for the 5-year anniversary, sir.
Take it easy, guys.
Good to see you, man. You take it easy.
Peace.
Later, brother. So one person is out. We got to bring another person in. He seems to have solved his mic issues. DJ Eric is back with us. You are good to go now, sir.
What is up, guys?
Hey, what's up, good brother?
Eric?
What's up, man?
So
How's it
you asked me
going?
a question. My favorite memories. Here's the truth: meeting USP3, Romeo, Nick Jackson, ALW, even True Hill Josh, who gives me hell for saying fuck Matt Taven. Yeah, I mean, just meeting all y'all. Like it's y'all like my family now. I talk about y'all. I mean, representing
our extended wrestling family. We love to see it.
I love Trilogy. It's one of the best shows to watch.
Yes. Speaking of extended family, I just want to give my Mama Jackson says congratulations to all of you guys on 5 years. She sends her love.
Thank you, Mama Jackson. Thank you, DJ Eric. Definitely, we've created a community that feels like a family, and we appreciate all of you. And we appreciate DJ Eric for joining us here on screen as one of our Patreon backers. We got more wrestling to discuss, what we missed throughout the week. Last night was AEW Rampage. They had the Best Friends defeat Trustbusters to advance in the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament. Claudio Castagnoli made an open challenge for the ROH World Championship for next week, and Dustin Rhodes accepted. Hook beat Zach Clayton of Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and I had to tag JWoww. I was like, "That's your man's." He lost in 12 seconds.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes, I did.
Wait, is he really with JWoww?
Yeah, that's her fiance.
Oh my God. and he had the honor of doing the job to Hook Hajime. Oh my God.
In 12 seconds.
Moving up in the world in 12 seconds. You love to see
it. buddy, and also post-match, Angelo Parker and Matt Menard of the Jericho Appreciation Society challenge Hook to an FTW title match. We also had You had Buddy Matthews beat Serpentico. Post-match, Miro came out to brawl with Matthews, laying him out with a Mashika kick.
What a kick.
Wow,
showing where
what a maneuver.
where he stands with the House of Black, and Swerve in Our Glory defeated Private Party to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships, with Private Party looking good in what was a relatively short match. I know Professor Kris is not happy that the tag team champions are on Rampage again, right?
I agree.
Rampage is the B show. And I'm only calling it the B show because it's the only other show that they got. Dark I don't even count. And I just think tag champs, like, why can't they get the FTR treatment or the Young Bucks
treatment?
Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. This has been, how many weeks has it been? Like 4, 5 since they won.
It's been 4 since they won the title.
Yeah, come on, man. This is getting fucking ridiculous, man. I just want them to be on on Wednesday night Dynamite. That's the A show.
Yeah, it's like
the Nitro, not Thunder.
Yeah,
we want
not
it on
Thunder.
Nitro.
Yeah. And Rampage is and we've talked about this before, SP, but Rampage is definitely, at first I was giving it a chance. It's definitely not appointment television. Neither are those Battle of the Belts shows that they do. You don't.
The last one was
the last one was the best one.
The last one was good, and
that
it was the
great.
lowest rated one as well. But I had to watch, and I went back and watched it on tape. Because I just didn't feel the need to watch it live, and they've got to fix some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, and this is making me sound like an old guy. But I remember when Clash of the Champions used to come on TNT, I felt like I had to watch those shows.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like if I didn't watch those shows, I would have missed out on something important. I don't feel the same way about Battle of the Belts or Rampage or anything like that. And I hope that they start beefing up these shows. Or I don't even know what the answer is because they only got 1 hour. So I just don't know. I just think there's something that needs to be done.
Yeah, it just the Rampage just definitely needs some juice to it. And they need to make it live more often.
Yeah, that's the only time it ever feels like it's like appointment television, depending on who's booked, when it's live.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're gonna keep putting all the blacks on Friday night, the very least Tony Khan could do is show us that more black people watch Rampage on Friday than they do Dynamite on Wednesday. Show us some reasoning behind this, because right now it just seems like you're throwing all the black folks on Friday night. He even had a post on
throw them on the tape show, pal.
Media. He had a post on social media like, "Oh, this is the first time that 2 African American teams are fighting one another with Private Party versus Swerve in Our Glory." And I said that to
this motherfucker.
Fucking
I said
Rampage.
that to Jimmy. Jimmy just responded with, I hate him so much."
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's Rampage, my dude. Seriously, like I just need it to make sense. Is all.
Yes, exactly. Make it make sense.
Yeah,
that's all we ask.
I don't think it's gonna make sense anytime soon. Tony's just gonna keep putting the, as Annika put here in the chat. Rampage has become the new nigga hole. It was AEW Dark for a while,
if you will,
but now it's not. And You My Boy Blue says Rampage on UPN, underpaid
Negro Network.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Indeed. Also had last night WWE SmackDown, which had Sheamus defeating Happy Corbin and Ricochet and Madcap Moss and Sami Zayn in his hometown of Montreal. Huge pops for Sami Zayn throughout this one in a fatal 5-way to earn a shot at Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at Clash of the Castle on September 3rd.
I'm excited for that match. I'm not
This is
gonna
going to
lie.
be the first time since WrestleMania 37, the Intercontinental title is going to be on a major event for WWE. It's been nearly 2 years.
Holy crap.
Wow, that is nuts.
It'll be a good match though for that
It's
crowd.
a whole new world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love that match.
Yeah.
We also had a wonderful backstage segment with Sami Zayn finally getting one-on-one time with Roman Reigns, which led to Sami taking a Claymore bullet for Roman during his face-to-face confrontation with the number one contender Drew McIntyre. However, McIntyre still stood tall with the Claymore on Reigns when he looked for the spear, holding up both titles to give us a little bit of a preview for Clash at the Castle. Toxic Attractions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane made their main roster debut, defeating Natalya and Sonya Deville to advance in the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. And there was also a Viking funeral segment where Sarah Logan appeared alongside the Vikings.
Yes.
You're happy to see Sarah Logan might be one of the former names back with WWE, DJ?
I'm happy. I've known Sarah since 2012 when she started out here in Indiana.
Oh wow, nice. And she's good talent, and putting her, with, I mean, it fits putting her with the Viking Raiders. So I hope they keep up with that.
I just hope she don't have to wear that mask, because I'm like, don't cover her pretty face.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm hoping that'll lead. Yeah, hopefully it'll lead to a reveal.
Yeah,
like some promo or like in the ring, and she just takes
Triple
it
H
off.
is a big supporter of Sarah, and I'm like, hell of a worker, hell of a mother. She's great in the ring. They didn't give her a chance the last time, when they cut at her.
Yes, good. I would love to see her a part of the Viking Raiders act. I think it would be pretty good. And Annika, I totally agree. That
the five-way was great.
an absolute banger. All of those guys stepped it up big time during that match. But Sami Zayn, man, hearing him as a babyface again in Montreal, I was rooting for Sami throughout that one. Alan Weinstein is saying Sami Zayn is the best thing in WWE.
I mean, he takes anything he has and he turns that shit to gold.
Yep.
Right.
I would say this episode was the most interesting Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, has seemed in months. Like, he brought like some of that nuanced storytelling that made Roman Reigns' character the best thing on WWE again, with those two interacting on this show. But to talk about Toxic Attraction being on SmackDown, we got to bring up all that what happened between Thursday and Friday before the show.
Toxic
in a video
Fridays.
posted to Twitter ahead of SmackDown. Shawn Michaels announced that Zoe Stark suffered an injury and Nikita Lyons was not medically available for SmackDown, and thus Gigi Dolan and JC Jane would take their place in the quarterfinal matchup of the WWE Women's Tag Team Tournament. PW Insider had a few more details on Lyons, noting that the wording on the NXT star being medically unavailable is correct, but she is not injured, and that an injury didn't result in her being pulled from the match. The decision was made yesterday to have Lyons not travel in and to use Toxic Attraction instead. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer added on Twitter that the injury to Stark was in fact a concussion that she suffered against Mandy Rose on NXT this week. And in the daily update, Meltzer also revealed that Nikita Lyons was not vaccinated and therefore could not travel to Canada. Gotta appreciate. Stay into her MAGA stallion tropes.
Where's CM and Annika in the chat? I know they're already ready. There we go.
She's like, technically, she could get into Canada even without the vaccine. It's up to the border. So maybe there was a bigger issue. I don't know. Maybe
that's unfortunate though with Zoe Starks and her injury.
And then Annika says, this is what happens when HBK is head of creative and doesn't have to share with Bruce Pritchard. See, he took back Nikita Lyons. He took it back. He was like, no take back.
I mean, toxic. I mean, if we're being real, Toxic Attraction, I feel like should have been in the tournament from jump.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely. They should have been in there because they are the actual tag team.
Yeah,
love to see Lions
it.
And Stark were in a tag team before.
Yeah,
I was ecstatic when I saw that. I was like, oh wow, we're about to get Toxic on Fridays.
Yeah, they're not a makeshift tag team, and I appreciate that.
Facts. WWE Raw this week, they did 1.978 million viewers. The show featured 3 very good to great matches, with Drew McIntyre defeating Kevin Owens in a terrific bout via disqualification after interference from the Usos. Post-match, KO stunned McIntyre, but Drew still stood tall against the Usos. Bobby Lashley beat AJ Styles in a very good United States Championship matchup. You also had Theory defeat Dolph Ziggler in a rock-solid main event. Asuka and Alexa Bliss beat Nikki ASH and Doudrop to advance in the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. Honestly, I felt like this was the best episode of television Triple H has put together since he's been in power, because those 3 matchups, the first 3 I talked about with Owens, McIntyre, that promo with Owens and McIntyre, with McIntyre saying, "We're wrestlers in the ring, let's freaking wrestle."
I was about to say, I can just see Vince like fucking his heart at home. We're 2 wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's freaking wrestle. And just hearing that Kevin Owens, even before Drew came out, like yes, give me this. Give me the prize fighter.
Agreed. From a wrestling standpoint, I thought it was a great episode of Raw. There's still some little things here and there that I thought we were done with Ezekiel and that bullshit.
I hoped we were.
And they're still doing it. That needs to
That Nutty Professor photo was gold. That Nutty Professor photo was gold.
I mean, it's like, it just, because I thought that Kevin Owens handled that the week before, and we're seeing it again. What the fuck?
Where's Elrod?
Yeah, and also
he was in the picture.
Which one was he? The little one or the
one with the mustache?
Oh, okay.
And the glasses.
And I do have to say, I am so glad. I've talked about this on every show I've appeared on. I'm so glad that Drew McIntyre has gotten rid of that fucking sword.
Yes.
He looked like he was like in an extra in the safety dance video. Just with it was so stupid. And I'm glad Kevin Owens talked about how stupid it was. And Drew McIntyre in a roundabout way kind of mentioned the stupidity of it. What he said, we're wrestlers, just wrestle. I could actually see a scenario where Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns for one of those titles. With that sword, I thought it was just way too goofy. That sword and all that bullshit. I thought it was just, I was never going to buy Drew McIntyre with Roman Reigns if he was dressed like for a Renaissance fucking fair.
Like he's trying out for a reboot of Braveheart.
Yes. So, I wasn't going to buy him like that. Now he seems like a serious guy, and I wouldn't mind seeing him and Roman. And if Drew wins at least the world title from him, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and I know the ring crew is probably glad that he doesn't have that sword anymore, so he can't fuck up the ropes anymore.
It's like anymore. I mean, and this is and people always ask me why I hate the sword so much. My whole thing with any of those, the fear of the objects, the animals, all that stuff, is that they were going to do something to the bad guy. We all know that Drew McIntyre isn't going to stab a motherfucker with the sword. It's not going to happen. Jake the Snake with the snake, he's going to put it on top of somebody. Finley with the shillelagh, he'll hit somebody with it. Same with Triple H and the sledgehammer.
Sandman and the cane.
That's what made Abyss with Janice stupid.
Right.
We wouldn't see him beat anybody with a 2x with nails. It's like
right. Yeah, but a sword is like it's too goofy.
We've already seen that. The Berserker.
Oh yeah. The Berserker and that was funny too, because he was actually trying to stab the Undertaker with
I remember that.
Undertaker is technically already dead, so he ain't doing nothing. That's what you do with zombies.
It's like this man survived being set on fire. You think you're gonna kill him by stabbing him? He's buried alive. What are we doing?
Yeah, that was fun. I was like 11 when that happened. Sorry, you brought that up, man.
No, I've gone back and seen it. It's crazy.
He took the sword and he was like trying to stab this motherfucker. That's so
Took us
funny,
back.
man.
Took us
Oh,
back,
man.
DJ Eric. Nice.
Yay.
NXT 2.0, they had their Heat Wave special this week. They did their biggest ratings of 2022, 723,000 viewers.
Nice.
The show featured a NXT UK invasion of sorts, with NXT UK champion Tyler Bate confronting Braun Breaker following his successful defense of the NXT championship against JD McDonough in the main event. You also had Gallus made their debut by attacking the entire Diamond Mine stable and challenging Brooks and Jensen for the NXT UK tag team titles. You also had Blair Davenport, aka Babe Priestley, made her debut by ripping up a drawing for Indy Hartwell from Dexter Loomis. Mandy Rose beat Zoe Stark to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Cora Jade defeated Roxanne Perez with a double arm DDT on her kendo stick. Carmelo Hayes retained the NXT North American title against Giovanni Vinci, and Tony D'Angelo defeated Santos Escobar in a street fight, and now Santos Escobar must leave NXT. So seems like we're going to get a call up with Santos Escobar, which I am all here for.
Heck yeah.
Give me some Santos versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to be
like to see
crying
that.
about leaving NXT 2.0, the worst show in wrestling history? It's gotten a little bit better, but not better enough for me to say it's a good show, because it ain't. But I can at least see the wheels spinning on that. And yeah, leaving NXT 2.0 is probably the greatest thing that could happen to you if you're a wrestler.
To me, the best part about the show was the Paul Heyman opening promo. Like,
that was awesome.
That was cool.
I was like, holy hell, this is.
And that match, and that match with Hayes and Vinci was, I think that was the match of the night for the show. Vinci definitely showed out, I believe. And no, I was just watching the show live, and then also having NX3 in the background. We're seeing these NXT UK people pop up, and it's like, after Blair Davenport pops up, Romeo's like, okay, if Tyler Bates shows up at the end of the night, we know NXT UK is dead. And as soon as I heard that, like those drums for his theme, I lost it.
Yeah,
because Romeo called it.
We will definitely get to that. Just two more shows to cover what we missed. We had GCW Night Homecoming was last weekend. Then night one had Jon Moxley defeat Effie to retain the GCW World Championship, kissing Effie and Effie feeling up on himself as he got choked out. Post-match, Mox said that he didn't have any more challenges left in Game Changer Wrestling, which led to the king, the god of this shit, Nick Gage, coming out
all day
to challenge him to one more match. And Mox responded by saying he would only accept if Gage put up his career on the line against the GCW World title, which Gage accepted. Rina Yamasha defeated Alex Colon in a bloody war to win the GCW Ultra Violent title.
What a picture.
Yes, the Briscoes
that is amazing.
Los Macitos to win their third GCW World Tag Team titles. Post-match, Second Gear Crew came out and challenged Jay and Mark, but then Los Macitos made a challenge as well, and the Briscoes accepted both and said they would defend the titles in Chicago on September 9th in the Art of War Games. I will be there live for that show, so I can't wait to see that.
Heck yeah.
GCW Homecoming Night 2 had one of the greatest weddings in wrestling history as Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green did their vow renewal with Maven as the officiant. Maki Ito sang L-O-V-E by Nat King Cole in one of the greatest performances at a wedding. I'm called Maki Ito for my wedding. And then Nick Gage crashed the wedding, busted a light tube over Matt's dad, and then sliced Matt Cardona open with a pizza cutter after Chelsea got cake smashed in her face by Allie Katch. And Alex Colon and John Wayne Murdoch beat Los Macitos and added themselves as well as Bussy to that Art of War Games match on September 3rd. And then Impact on Access TV had Eddie Edwards defeat Rich Swann, Bandito, Steve Macklin, Moose, and Sami Callihan in a six-way elimination match to become the number one contender for the Impact World Championship. He will now face Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory. Speedball Mike Bailey beat Chris Bay in a very fun match to retain the X Division Championship as well. But Les, get into the news rundown, which the aforementioned NXT UK is probably the biggest news of the week, not involving AEW and CM Punk, of course. Fox News on, I believe this was Wednesday, reported and WWE confirmed that WWE's NXT UK brand is going on hiatus and the company will launch the new NXT Europe next year. According to the company, NXT Europe will reimagine the brand and talent pipeline and focus more on Europe. Shawn Michaels, who is the vice president of talent development creative in WWE, he said that he was pretty excited about the changes. He says, given the success of NXT UK, we felt that it was time to expand beyond that. NXT UK's brief hiatus is expected to last a few months. In the meantime, WWE is planning to run a final NXT UK meets NXT 2.0 event called Worlds Collide. That's going to have the NXT 2.0 stars versus NXT UK stars. That happens on the same date as All Out, September 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. This follows the arrival of several NXT UK names on Heatwave, including NXT UK champion Tyler Bate confronting NXT champion Braun Breaker. After that, WWE will work with their staff and talent to launch NXT's Europe brand, which HBK says will be bigger and better. It was noted there were 22 male wrestlers and 12 female wrestlers and 2 on-air personalities on the NXT UK brand, and WWE has confirmed the launch of NXT Europe and the upcoming Worlds Collide event in a press release. Following the announcement, though, the following names have been released from the company from NXT UK brand: Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews, Wild Boar, Emil, Jack Stars, Dave Massive, Ashton Smith, Amelia McKenzie, who is a young star that I was shocked that they released her.
Same here.
Shaw Samuels, Nina Samuels, Sam Gradwell, Danny Luna, Primate, Rohan Raja, Kenny Williams, Zaya Brookside, Tio Man, Trent Seven.
What?
Trent Seven?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know about that.
Yes.
That shocked me.
Tyson T-Bone, Sid Scala, Saxon Huxley, Eddie Dennis, and Amir Jordan. According to PW,
I'm like shocked now finding out that Trent Seven got released.
According to PW Insider, the door is open for some of the release stars to be brought back down the line. However, it didn't make sense to keep everyone under contract with the long hiatus ahead of the relaunch of NXT Europe. Most of the talent release have a 30 to 45 day window before they can go work elsewhere beyond local independent promotions. Dave Meltzer spoke about the change in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, noting that the releases led to skepticism around the relaunch, with the idea that they wouldn't cut so many talents if a show was being launched in a few months. Meltzer also spoke about Amel, who was let go from the company, and how she was the only French star in WWE, noting that there's a feeling she would not have been released if WWE were really planning a European relaunch. He wrote, "The fact so many were let go immediately led to skepticism regarding the relaunch, with the idea that they wouldn't cut so many people if they were planning on launching something in just a few months. With the vagueness of the announcement of the NXT Europe branch, the day it was acknowledged privately and not publicly by WWE that the UK branch is shutting down. Another key is while all those releases were from the UK, Emil is from France. She is the only star from France they have under contract and is someone who has gotten them pub in that country for that reason. The question is, if they really were planning a European relaunch and expansion, the feeling is she would not have been released, and it just seems like a way to cover up the dropping of the UK brand and training facility that was expected the past few weeks." Per PW Insiders, those within the company view this as a case of taking a step back to take a step forward. It was stated by one source that they were shutting down the brand in order to access and strategize the best way to launch NXT Europe next year, with a staff centered there and the idea of being a touring brand regionally when the time is right. I've said bullshit on all of this. I feel like this is just a cover up. The whole, oh, we're doing NXT Europe. Don't worry that we're getting rid of all these stars and we're shutting down the brand. This is supposed to be like a decoy. Like there's a house burning down, but there's a car wreck right over there, and it's just a car that went into a fucking stop sign. But they're trying to keep everybody's eyes off of the fucking house that's burning down with people inside. That's what WWE is doing with NXT Europe.
Wow, this is. I don't know. I'm still a little in shock at. I mean, finding out Trent Seven's been released and some of these other names. It's like, and you're right. This does seem like
what the hell?
Yeah, this seems like more of This seems like more of a smoke screen.
And what's crazy? Tyler Bate showed up on NXT 2.0 with the belt, and he hasn't even won the belt yet because the tournament's still going on. You know?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's like, because the companies do this kind of thing all the time. They'll say, oh, we're going to expand or do whatever. And then months go past and they never reopen. And I can see the same thing happening with this. Like, it's like waiting to find out who was behind from the 90s, GTV, if you remember that. Like we still know who was in charge of that. And I think this NXT Europe thing, just from what I've been reading, it just doesn't sound like something that's going to come to fruition. But if it does, you know, I'll be happy for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be surprised if it does, because I mean, realistically, can we really say that NXT? I mean, and when you were reading Sean's statement, I kind of said it's like, you know, due to the success of NXT UK, can we really call the brand overall a success?
Yeah, well, they were successful at killing the UK
indie scene. In that part,
that was successful.
So, well done, Sean. But I'm still shocked with some of these releases, and even if the Europe thing doesn't end up taking off, there's still like a couple of talents in there that you could have easily integrated into NXT 2.0, like Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. You know, both great athletes. A great tag team, you know, they could have fit in perfectly to give the NXT 2.0 tag division a bit more depth. And just Trent Seven, like that's just a name I didn't expect to hear, because he's very good. You know, I mean, we talk about how good, you know, Tyler Bate is for how young he is. You know, I mean, Trent Seven helped train the guy, and he's a hell of a hand.
And trade Butch.
Pete Dunne. Yeah. So I mean, not having him around, I just think that's a dumb call on their part.
I just think it's a sign that they don't really know what they're gonna do with this whole NXT Europe. Because you get rid of Trent Seven. That was definitely the most shocking person. But you can kind of take that down to, you know, his age. Millie McKenzie is another one.
That one is very shocking. That was like someone I thought they would develop to actually beat Mako Satomura for the NXT UK Women's Championship. But we don't know what they're doing with Mako at this point. Hopefully she'll be on the Worlds Collide show on September 4th against another great talent, despite the fact that she's a bit more up there than everybody else. She's incredible.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we see her on that show.
In other WWE news, WWE has continued their efforts to acquire more and more talent recently, and their talent relations department has reached out to at least one anonymous AEW star. Fightful reports that a notable member of the roster who is currently under contract with AEW told AEW management that WWE contacted them about coming over. The talent told AEW they're happy there and had no desire to leave, and wanted to make sure those in charge knew about the situation. Fightful notes that the claim was that a member of the talent relations team in WWE contacted the talent and a source close to AEW and said they'd referee the call to their representation instead of directly speaking with the person. The talent in question confirmed the claim, though there's nothing else known about the contact. And it was also noted that there wasn't any question that the talent was under a full-time contract. WWE's representations have not yet responded to offers to comment on the situation, although the company has publicly extended or re-signed deals with a number of talent recently: Io Sky, Ashanti the Adonis, B-Fab, Scarlett Bordeaux, Dakota Kai, Karrion Kross, and Top Dollar. PW Insider reported that there's been a lot of talk about the company preparing to hire a number of new wrestlers and staff, specifically those who were part of Triple H's circle during the black and gold era of NXT. And one person within WWE described as a planned hiring spree, but another caution that was too dramatic of a description of what is planned. The report also notes that there has been attempts to confirm the contractual obligations and timelines for talents who are locked in elsewhere, so WWE knows if and when they may be available down the line. I would say one thing. The hiring spree part of this sounds very like 2017, 2018, when WWE was hogging up all the independent talent, and then they didn't know what to do with a bunch of guys. Because I understand, filling in some holes here with Triple H in power, but I don't know how I feel about kind of hiring a bulk of these former guys who you didn't have use for before. Yes, it was a different creative time, but Triple H has a lot on his hands. He's the EVP of talent relations.
Yeah.
He's doing 2 main roster shows. I don't know how I feel about all of this. DJ Eric, what do you feel about the new Triple H era, and what do you think about potentially WWE doing a hiring spree of new wrestlers and staff?
Bring back Jonah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Did you not
man
listen
is-
to the New Japan conversation? This man's killing it in New Japan. You don't need to come back to no goddamn.
I don't get to watch
WWE.
New Japan, bro. I don't get to watch
You
that.
need to,
man.
That's the personal problem.
And Jonah's doing
Call it
incredible.
work problem, bro.
They got-
Jonah's doing
They got plans
incredible.
for Jonah in New Japan. They would have just had him beat Okada if he didn't.
Yeah, but what kind of bread is Triple H willing to break, though? I mean, you gotta, if Triple H is willing to pay Jonah, accordingly, he's got decisions to make. Everybody does now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to bring back a lot of guys, and like Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Like when I heard that first beat, boom, I was like, it's Kross. I was like, he's back. But I'm happy to bring back all this talent, but don't overdo it. You still got a lot of guys and girls there who are not even getting a chance on TV.
I will defend Triple H from this sense. SP3 is they need people on NXT 2.0 that can wrestle. They have guys on there that can wrestle, but they need more people that can wrestle. So some of these guys you had nothing to do with before, maybe now you can figure something out, because Vince McMahon just hired but I feel so bad for Lash Legend. I always have to. She's just not good, man. And this is not a knock on her, but
she tries. It's just not correlating necessarily.
Yeah, she's not good, and they need people. They need people who always wanted to be wrestlers, and now they're wrestlers, and they can contribute to one of the big products. You know what I'm saying? And that's NXT 2.0 needs whatever help it could get. I'm not going to judge yet, but I understand the trepidation.
Yeah. And New Report has an update on Sasha Banks and Naomi's rumored returns to WWE. On the latest Sunday night's main event podcast, Dave Meltzer said that everyone he's spoken to in WWE expect they're in, and that it's just a question of which week they want to debut them. Meltzer noted that WWE likely wants to stagger the new and returning stars coming in, which includes the likes of, Kross, Scarlett that we've seen in the past. And since Banks and Naomi are the biggest names who would be returning, they don't need to do it right away. The two stars were, of course, not at Raw last week and attended the Los Angeles premiere event for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and they looked great. Unfortunately, Sasha Banks was robbed in parking her car in Oakland.
So
all of
it's Oakland. So.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
About Oakland.
And she knows about this. She's from the contrary to her saying she's from Boston. She's from the Bay. She knows how that place gets down, man. Be smarter, Sasha. These Cali streets will kill you if you ain't
For real.
but
It's not a game.
it's so crazy that we're back full circle from when I was here. When was it? 5-6 weeks ago, wherever. And we're talking about Sasha and Naomi again, man. I'm disappointed that they didn't go to AEW. And the reason why I wanted them to go to AEW, because AEW's women's division needs something big.
Yes.
And in WWE, they will be good. I don't doubt that. I think Triple H will use them right. But I think the AEW women's division is so dismal that if they could sign Paige, Naomi Banks, or Naomi and Sasha Banks, I think that would be the thing to do. But now that we've kind of settled into them going back to WWE, hopefully they could become a tag team and have a tag team name and make that division important.
I would hope that they are going to come back and the tag team division will be kind of used in a more meaningful way again. Hopefully. Some breaking news from Fightful Select. Apparently, one of the talents from NXT UK that was released actually just re-signed with the company.
Damn. Please say Tyler Bate.
Please don't say Trent Seven.
No. It's one of the people that was released. They had re-signed before getting released.
I swear if you say Trent Seven.
No, it was. Okay. I believe they are saying that it's Flash Morgan Webster.
Well, that sucks too.
Who signed a short-term deal with WWE prior to receiving his release with the company as of this week.
Dang,
wow, this whole thing is hilarious a little bit, but I don't like seeing people lose their job. WWE has issued an official heads up that Vince McMahon's resignation from the company could hurt their creative efforts. The company filed their 10Q quarterly report with the SEC on Monday ahead of this week's earnings report, and the report references the investigation as something that could have a material adverse effect on WWE's financial performance, and adds that the resignation of Vincent Kennedy McMahon could adversely affect our ability to create popular characters and creative storylines, or could otherwise adversely affect our operating results. I mean, I feel like this is them lowering expectations, so I wouldn't take too much into heart with that. But another report from PW Insider says that the temporary embargo on selling and buying stock for WWE employees has been lifted. So they're opening more things up for the employees. And speaking on the return part, Bodyslam.net reports that Johnny Gargano is said to be more open to a return to WWE after the recent regime change with Vince McMahon and Triple H in charge. According to the report, Gargano would be interested in talking to Triple H and seeing how things would be changing. While he wasn't a fan of the grind in WWE, especially after becoming a new father, the overarching factor for him walking away was dissatisfaction with his position and direction, with no set plan for how he'd be used. And Johnny Gargano has also reportedly been in talks with AEW. So would you guys like to see him in AEW or see him back with WWE now that Triple H is in charge?
I want to see him go wherever the bag is and whoever's going to use him the best. You know what I'm saying? This is how you leverage power if you're a wrestler. You are in a situation, you are a sought after talent for both companies. Who wants to pay you? Who wants to give you the TV time? What can you negotiate? That's what business is all about. It's about what you can negotiate and what can you get. Sasha Banks and Naomi, especially if they go back to WWE, they're examples of that. And you gotta use your power, because for a long time wrestlers felt like they had no power. So
this is very true. Very, very good point there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we brought up Sasha and Naomi. Another prominent black female in wrestling is Brandy Rose. She got back into the ring for a match at the WWE Performance Center, according to two reports. PW Insider and Fight Select reported that Rose, who exited AEW at the same time as her husband Cody, wrestled at an in-house event at the Performance Center. Details on who she faced isn't clear, but this would be her first reported match since she beat Kylan King in a match on AEW television in January. WWE regularly holds live in-house shows on Fridays in order to give developmental talents a chance to work and improve their skills. So, do you guys think we're going to see Brandy in WWE soon?
Gotta hope not.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't. That's not something I necessarily want to see, but I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
And from what it seems like, despite what her ability might be, she does seem like she really does, care about, wanting to be a wrestler. So I guess we'll just have to, only time will tell as far as this goes.
We're gonna see Cody and Brand against the Miz and Maurice.
Yeah, that's something that can happen.
Okay, fine. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, and I could
do something with that.
I can see that happening. I do miss Brandy Rhodes on AEW, not on television necessarily, but just the work she did with like Culture City and like all the behind the. She was really an invaluable person.
She was important backstage
in AEW, and it's like, because she's helping her husband live out his dream. She's just kind of along for the ride, and I think she's good on her own merits, not necessarily at the wrestling stuff, but what she does and what she brings, her creative brain.
Yeah, she's a smart woman.
Yeah, she, Nyla Rose, Sunny Kiss. She's the one that thought it'd be a good idea to get these people hired. She's got a good business sensibility. And Culture City, they've got a lot of prominent people who are ambassadors for Culture City, you know what I'm saying? And that was a good thing she got for AEW. So I just want to see her the wrestling stuff. Look, man, she's not the worst woman wrestler I've ever seen, but I mean
that's true.
The silly, she's not going to be doing creative stuff. So I think they could find a place for her on the roster if they wanted to. I just think her gifts are more behind the scenes.
I agree.
Her promo she did with Dan Lambert killer.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that segment.
That was good stuff. That was money.
You a black belt? Well, I'm a black bitch. Moving on to AEW news. Despite the announcement of CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for next Wednesday's Dynamite in Cleveland, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the current plan for the main event of that show, All Out 2022 in Chicago, is still to have Punk versus Moxley for both belts. Obviously, the main event hasn't been officially announced yet. It isn't 100% at this time, but it has been discussed, and there doesn't seem to be another plan that seems to suggest that there won't be a clean finish on Wednesday, but that remains to be seen. And kind of correlating into that, MJF, of course, hasn't been seen in AEW since the Dynamite after Double or Nothing, where he cut his pipe bomb promo. This came in the middle of speculation about his status with the company, and there were rumors he was unhappy about his pay and wanted to leave, while others suggested the issues were settled and turned into a work shoot storyline. According to the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, MJF is set to return to the company somewhat soon. The exact time is not unknown at the moment, but it was noted that from September onward is likely to be an important time for AEW, as they will be negotiating for a new TV deal soon into the spring. So do you guys think we see MJF on Wednesday to interrupt this undisputed AEW world title match?
I don't know. I feel like it's honestly a crapshoot. He could either come back on Wednesday, or they could save, if the plan is still to do a Mox versus Punk at All Out, and they have some type of fuck finish on Wednesday, or they go to a draw and they do something else with that match at All Out. I could see Max making his return, after the fact, especially if Punk wins. So, as of right now for Wednesday, it could happen. I just, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
I would love to see it. I think it's the best to save it for All Out, though. I think the big moments should happen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
As we mentioned last week, Kris Statlander is expected to be out for 6 to 8 months following a torn ACL injury. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW has significant plans for Statlander before her injury. This included a match with Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship that they have been building on TV. Cargill is, of course, now focusing entirely on a feud with Athena. Speaking of the AEW Women's Division, Thunder Rosa has now been champion for almost 6 months, and she recently opened up about the pressures of her run. Rosa was a guest at the Stockton Con recently, and she said it's been really challenging. Being a champion on a major platform is different than when I was NWA Women's World Champion. There is a lot at stake and a lot more you're representing and a little bit of pressure. Every time you stand in front of the camera, you want to make sure you're perfect, and the thing is, it's not all perfection. It's about making a difference, and I hope I've been making a difference in the women's division. Poor Thunder Rosa. It's poor Tony Khan not caring about this woman.
Nicer woman. Like, dude, yeah. Like, what do we? I don't understand it. It's just, like you said, Sid. Like, it's embarrassing, the state of this division.
Right.
It's embarrassing at this point.
It's embarrassing, and it's also shameful. It's like it just I don't see any effort by the backstage people to make this division any better or to make it something that we care about. I don't know what female influence is backstage outside of Mega. Did I say her name right? Mega? I forget. I think she hates me anyway.
Megan, yeah.
We're from AEW, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what the diversity at AEW is backstage, but it doesn't seem that plentiful. And these women deserve better every single week. We got one women's match on Dynamite. We did get something on Rampage, and that was okay. But it's a shameful division at the moment.
That wasn't even good. Most of the match happened during the commercial break. I was
yeah. And I didn't use the word good either. It was what it was.
Something's got to give. They just need some type of overhaul.
Yeah,
overall,
because culture is demanding more. You know what I'm saying? Like society is demanding more from you. In regards to the women, and same goes with black wrestlers, same goes with all the minorities in that company. Society is demanding more, so you need to give more.
True story.
Agreed.
Fightful reports that during last night's AEW, a graphic was shown that announced that a taping of AEW would happen on October 18th. This is notable because 18th is on a Tuesday, so there's going to be a Tuesday night edition of Dynamite. This correlates with the TBS coverage of the MLB playoffs. They will be covering the MLB, the ALCS on October 19th, which is a Wednesday. It's unclear that if this taping is going to be live or it will be taped for after the playoff. But this seems to be what happens to AEW around this time of the year and around June time of the year. But now they're on TBS, it's just going to be in October. And in some contract news, Fightful has an update that Arya Daivari just signed a deal with AEW. He had been helping to produce matches for AEW and now has a full-time deal now that he's got his Trustbusters stable. Also signed Matt Menard and Angelo Parker 2.0 to a contract extension, and they're said to be very well liked backstage, and sources have said they've been good to work with, and it looks like AEW talent will be stepping through the forbidden door once again early next year. During Tuesday's Wrestling Observer News Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that there are plans for AEW wrestlers to work next year's New Japan Pro Wrestling event at the Tokyo Dome.
Please.
Before we get into New Japan news, I know DJ Eric, you gotta run. Please let the people know where they can find you on social media, good sir. And we appreciate you coming on for our 5-year anniversary.
Twitter at DJ Eric 213, Facebook Eric Montgomery. You know, you can't miss me. I'm not a guy that goes in Facebook jail at least 3 times a year.
Fair enough.
Congrats on 5 years. You know, I can't wait till the week of All Out because that's the busiest week for wrestling in True Hill Heat because you got wrestling from Monday all the way till the following week.
Right. And I'm following you now, DJ Eric.
Yep. I'm the guy you'll see wearing the True Hill Heat shirt all the time, you know, rocking it.
Oh yeah.
Love to see it. Love to see it, good brother. Thank you for joining us on the show, man, and we appreciate all the support you've been giving us.
Nick Jackson, Chris, good to meet you. Everybody else have fun.
Take care, DJ Eric. Good to see you, brother.
Peace, brother.
Later.
Peace. So let's finish up this show here. Last bit of wrestling news. We got New Japan news. New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced that next year's Wrestle Kingdom 17 will only be one night after previous editions were 2 nights. The show, which runs on January 4th at the Tokyo Dome, expanded to 2 nights in 2020, then 3 nights this past year. And the company announced that New Year's Dash will return after it was skipped this year. Wrestle Kingdom 17 happens on January 4th, 2023 at the Tokyo Dome, and New Year's Dash will happen on January 5th. And New Japan is coming home, returning to New York on Friday, October 28th for Rumble on 44th Street. The event is taking place at the Palladium in Times Square, which will feature New Japan and Stardom talent and will be streamed on pay-per-view on Fight TV and on New Japan World. And tickets go on sale for that on August 25th. And Kota Ibushi has been very clear about his issues with New Japan Pro Wrestling this year, criticizing the company for several different things, even making accusations about Yakuza ties, and the company later fined Ibushi and the members of staff he had issues with, and it was later reported that the situation had calmed down. However, Ibushi has yet to return to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that the talent in New Japan believe that Ibushi is not coming back to the company, and Ibushi has not confirmed any confirmation of his status, but has noted that he wants to have a run in AEW. So, I mean, I'm here for the Golden Lovers to reunite in AEW. Though.
You already know.
If he's done with New Japan, come on over. And hang out with your best friend, with your Golden Lover. I'm good with that. Going to get you out. Freedom's here. And then our final news notes. Blake Christian has spoken regarding his possible continuation with GCW over the weekend, and he got a negative reaction from the fans at GCW Homecoming after beating Tony Deppen. Christian attempted to speak publicly about his status, but was largely shut down by the crowd. He has been working for plenty of promotions since leaving WWE and is reported to have an agreement with AEW and Ring of Honor. Stardom has announced that Kairi Sane, Kyrie, has tested positive for COVID-19 and will be pulled from their upcoming Stardom Stardom pay-per-view. The company announced that she was off the show due to poor physical condition, while the former Kairi Sane confirmed that it was COVID. So we hope she has a speedy recovery from that for sure. And the National Wrestling Alliance has announced several matches for next week's NWA 74 event on August 27th and 28th. We'll be previewing that on next week's show. The new matches include Caprice Coleman versus Colby Carino, FSK versus Luke Hollis, Tom Lattimore, versus Judas, and Mercerio versus Magic Jake Dumas. The NWA has also announced that Nick Aldis will verse Flip Gordon on night 2 of NWA 74 as well. And in an interview with Fightful, NWA president Billy Corgan revealed that he had talks with WWE about putting the NWA on the WWE network, but nothing ever came of them, and the company currently airs their shows on Fight as well as YouTube. So that's the end of our news rundown, and that brings us to a close on this historic milestone edition 5-year anniversary of True Hill Heat. Made it through everything. We reminisce at the start of the show, so we got to close off with some reminiscing. I just want to thank each and every person that joined us on the show here tonight. Today, from Professor Kris, Nick Jackson, who are still with me, to StatKing, Miss Krissy Love, Drunk Guy JJ, Top Guy JJ. I saw Ness in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this journey of True Hill Heat, whether you were a guest, whether you were a viewer, whether you're a subscriber of this channel, whether you're a Patreon backer, whether you are a follower over on Twitch, whether you follow us and you're a subscriber on the True Hill Heat Sports channel. This started as a little podcast because my friends, including the producer who I'm going to give him time to get ready, but we are going to hear your voice on this show because you've been a big part of this as well. And he was one of the guys that really pushed me into this because he was one of the people that was like, Sid, we always come to you to hear your opinion on wrestling. Like, if we're going to do a podcast under the True Heels banner, True Hill Heat, we want you kind of put you on the spot and kind of put you on that platform. We started off in Top Guy JJ's room with Baby Seth behind the iPad, and we had Mimi as our original third person, then transitioning and having different people throughout all the special guests, Queen of the Ring, Stephanie Chase, Stephanie Hypes, all the different guests, Benno, Professor Kris, your good brother, Nate, Andrew Thompson from Post Wrestling, and to see like all the different platforms that we've kind of had here on this channel, from Fightful, from Wrestle Talk to Post Wrestling. I am just so happy that we've made it this far for 5 years. And yes, we'll be doing 5 more. And honestly, I would not be doing this show every single Saturday and taking 2 to 3 hours from my family if I didn't love what I do. I love covering professional wrestling, and this is still my passion project. If I didn't enjoy doing this, I would not do it. So I thank all of y'all for coming every single week, every single Saturday for this flagship show, because you guys are why we do this and why we have grown so much, heading into 3,000 subscribers and 3,000 more for years to come. I appreciate each and every person that's been a part of the channel, whether as a guest, contributor, follower, subscriber, viewer. Thank you so much for these 5 years of True Hill Heat. So I definitely wanted to let that be known. So yes, I'm putting you on the spot now, Baby Seth. So unmute yourself and come on and say some final remarks.
There he is.
You're singling me out.
Oh my God!
You're singling me out. You're singling me out. You're singling me out on the spot. No. This is how it's gonna go. Okay. If you want a rematch from the last time from New Orleans, that was my best memory. But if you're singling me out on the air, we're gonna have to do it one more time in New York City, brother.
One more time. One
more
match.
One more match.
That is possibly my favorite memory from 5 years. Is that our first
definitely mine,
YouTube,
man.
If you guys haven't seen it, go find it.
Yes, go on the search tab and put SP3 versus Baby Seth. Our first video on YouTube was our match in New Orleans, where Baby Seth had ketchup all over his face. Yes, I'm breaking kayfabe and letting people know. Hard way, yes, it was hard way blood.
Crimson Mouse.
We put a hole in the Airbnb wall that we were gonna get charged for.
You scared me to the next building. That shit was crazy.
The winds have changed. But thank you so much, Baby Seth, for being behind the camera, being the producer, all the great things you do behind the scene. I appreciate you as well. So let the people know anything you want to say, sir.
Listen, man, just loved hanging out with you guys for the last 5 years. I'm just very happy that in the last 2 to 3 years, I know, Mama, I know. The last 2 to 3 years where things have been weird with life and the pandemic and stuff like that, that like all of our friendships haven't gotten far dissipated at all. And if anything, we've all gotten stronger, even remotely, even with our lives changing. Proud Papa, we're all engaged and all that stuff. So, even with our lives changing, I'm glad that we're still hanging out.
Thank you so much. I know you don't like being on camera, so I really appreciate you letting the people see that
You
beautiful
single
face.
me
Look
out.
at him
You
now.
single me
Look at him
out.
now.
I'm gonna have to answer.
He said those
okay?
were fight. He said them's fighting words.
Right.
You know it.
He now looks like Matt Jackson. He's no longer Baby Seth. He's Baby Matt. He's Baby Buck. Look at those guns. Look at those guns.
Oh yeah.
So I want to give everybody a spot to do their final plugs, any final remarks. So I'll start with you, Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Let the people know where they can find you, sir.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Mr. Beach Bum. You can find me on Facebook. My real name is Nick Jackson, unlike my All Elite doppelganger who uses my last name as his ring name and not his shoot name. But that's neither here nor there. But you can find me there being #1 conversation starter. You can see me every Thursday on AE Ramble, depending on how many disclaimers our good brother Mr. Jimmy Macram gets per stream. He's getting better. So I mean, he only had about he's been keeping it to like about a five-ish ratio. Yeah, between like 4 or 5, and you can see me from time to time with my my good brothers. Chris G, shout out to him. Shout out to the three-time baby making champion Ness. You can see me with them from time to time on Blunt Impact. And yeah, I just want to say again, what a ride we've been on. Props to USP3, Baby Seth, the entire crew, you know, Miss Krissy Love, Top Guy JJ, Sober Guy, Josh, Wendy, Romeo, the Pod Heels, everybody, all of our great guests like Professor Kris and Brother Nate, Benno, Stephanie Hype, Stephanie Chase. It's been a hell of a ride, and I can't wait to see everything you guys do next and how you guys continue to broaden your horizons and expand your brand. You know, here's to 5 years, and here's to infinity and beyond. Here's to the moon, because that's where True Heel Heat is going, and that's where it's going to continue to keep going.
Professor Kris, let the people know.
Okay, so yeah, I want to thank you. Seeing Johnny in Vegas was great this year. I don't know which one of us gave the other one COVID, but
Did you get wait? Did you get COVID after?
Yes, because I remember you text messaged me and you were like, "Yo, me and my girlfriend have COVID," and then I was like, "Oh, we're fine," and then that plane landed in Los Angeles.
2 hours later,
We got COVID. So I don't know what happened, because we were supposed to go to AEW in LA that week, right? They had 2 shows, one at the Forum and one in Irvine, I believe it was, and we couldn't go to both. I gave Stephanie Chase and Beno those tickets, but I love coming on here from time to time. SP3, you love wrestling more than anybody that I know, definitely more than me these days. That you cover it and you've turned it into this good thing. You being able to do this show and just the way wrestling podcast hosts network, because I like Jeremy and Jensen and all those people, I met a lot of them through you. You know what I'm saying? Alex McCarthy, what's the Emmy guy? Why am I? Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet.
John Alpha, Andrew Zarian, we've had on here. So we've had Wrestling Observer.
Cassidy Haynes, another
just being able to meet those guys and just interact with them has been great. This has just been, and the first time I met you, SP, it was on the NWA podcast, and I just didn't know that anybody else was doing this, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't really like, I've been following, working for Post and stuff. I've been following people for a while, but it's always good to see others in this space, and just making friends, and being like, knowing people around the world through this show is just an amazing thing to me.
Yeah, I agree. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, and then my girlfriend didn't understand how deep it ran until we went to Vegas, you know what I'm saying? And just random people like, hey, aren't you on, whatever? And it's like, yeah, man, this is a cool space to be in. And I'm happy and grateful to be a part of it. So as for me, we're going live with the NWA podcast tomorrow. So I don't know if we figured out a time yet. I also, you can read me at thank you for that.
And COVID was in there somewhere. God bless. But that COVID was in there. God bless.
I never want to catch that shit again, man.
I feel you on that.
I was gonna give him a full introduction, but you could tell by that Romeo is here. Yeah, he made it onto the show at the very end.
Right. And you can read me on at WrestleNomics.com. So check out my articles there. I'm on CP time this month, but it should be going up soon.
And thank you for our last notice coming on the show and joining us. We always love to hear what you think about wrestling, your perspectives. One of our all-time favorite guests to have on the True Hill.
It was fate because last week was my last Saturday class, and this week I'm getting called to do this. I feel special.
Romeo, thanks for joining us at the end. Yes. Everybody was asking where you were too in the chat, so
I had a feeling you'd make a run.
Come at the very end.
Yes,
I had a long Friday night, and if I'm gonna have any hope for these 2 streams later, I needed my extra rest. But I did come with a gift. Who would like to see clips from the first ever True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat 1.
Let's do it. Johnny's face says it all.
With my crackhead camera movement, let's do it.
True Heel Heat 1.
Welcome to the very first episode of True Heel Heat. Here I am, Mimi, with my co-host SP3 and Top Guy JJ. And tonight we will be reviewing the SummerSlam Aftermath, and which I will go to my co-host JJ for your reviews as to what the top 5 matches were for SummerSlam.
Well, overall, thank you for whoever is watching right now, and major shout out to the True Heels. The page was absolutely on fire tonight.
I mean, Rusev, Gato would definitely find you a spot in LIJ or a Bullet Club. I mean, you would be perfect as a Dalton Castle boy. Dalton Castle needs someone else to fan him. Yep. Honestly, you deserve better than this, and being Dalton Castle's boy is better than this. Bruce's wife, Lana, she's actually got Spanish in her blood, so he can be a part of LAX or Lucha Underground. I'm just saying. Lucha Underground Season 5.
Lana, don't listen to this motherfucker.
Rusev,
please, we do not want you leaving. At all.
No, just Rusev. And Baron Corbin. Oh yeah, the death list.
Oh, Baron Corbin can go.
This is the death list.
Oh my God, he can go. Again, thank you WWE, because Baron Corbin sucks. Thank you for taking that Money in the Bank briefcase away from him, because he's terrible. He's a horrible heel. That promo that he had a chance. He had a golden chance to stand across the aisle from the greatest of all time at this time right now. And all he said to him was, I don't have time for you. Right.
I mean,
done.
Big Bad Baron.
Fuck you, Corbin.
Little Corbin.
Done.
It's okay, Corbin. It's all right. It's all right. You went online. You got into a Twitter beef with my uncle Dave Meltzer. Yes, Uncle Dave. Hey, how you doing? You got in a fight with Uncle Dave Meltzer, and then you lost Money in the Bank 6 days before a WWE title match that definitely needed you as a hook. Because as you've seen, Jinder doesn't even know how to perform the Colossus anymore. It's pretty sad.
He sure knows how to perform a roll-up, though, because that roll-up was pretty sweet on SmackDown.
Jinder, All I know is that you better be thankful
The Maharata!
that the WWE is touring India next month, or you would have lost tonight. That's all I have to say.
Don't
about
hit the
that.
agenda.
Yes, that's all I have to say about that.
He beat Shinsuke clean.
So you're telling me in a week you buried an up-and-coming heel in Baron Corbin losing his money in the bank.
He deserved it.
You buried Rusev in 10 seconds by having him RKO'd, and then you have Shinsuke get his first loss to Jinder Mahal. You killed 3 stars in a matter of 6 days.
No, whoa. We killed 1 star. One, because Rusev and Baron Corbin are not fucking stars. They're not stars. They're not stars. The only star is Shinsuke Nakamura. If this guy considers Baron Corbin a star,
I said up and coming.
No, he's not even up and coming. He's down and falling. Yo, do you see? Listen, man. You and Stephen A. Man, just keep it up. Let it go, man. Just shave it. Your hair, you ain't got no hair, bro. It's falling off, man. Just rock me, man. I've embraced it. I ain't got no hair on the top of my head. I've embraced it. You see that shit right there? You see right here? That shit lives there. That shit never gets bigger than that right there. Why is Enzo still on TV?
How you do?
Why is he still on television?
I just realized why Natalya won the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Please inform me.
It's not for Charlotte.
Inform
It's
me.
not for Becky. It is for the GOAT of all women, Mrs. GOAT, Nikki Bella. She's gonna return and she's gonna win the SmackDown Women's title. Hashtag Mrs.
Go
GOAT.
to the next subject.
Mrs.
Go to
GOAT.
the next subject.
Yes.
Yo, all right. We've had a little bit too much alcohol over the last couple of days. I don't know what the hell he's
Mrs.
talking
GOAT.
about.
The Mrs. GOAT.
Shut up. That made no sense.
She hustles. She's got loyalty. And she respects that title.
No, she respects John Cena's balls.
That's also true.
That's
also true. The 2 women that had the greatest match of all time got booed out the building tonight.
What the hell? What the hell does this have to do with them getting booed? Yo, I'm done with this shit. You're fucking crazy. Get this shit out of here.
ROH saved NXT, so thank you, Ring of Honor.
ROH!
Hashtag ROH Takeover Brooklyn. Yes.
Facts.
And of course, thank you to Adam Cole, baby. No way, Jose on Monday Night Raw.
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. Jose.
One final note. We got a hit single for you to close us out. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Roman, the big dog. Roman, he's so strong. Roman, the big dog. Roman is his yard. And we are too sweet.
5 years. 5 years.
5 years, and even though things have changed a bit,
Quality.
I
things are
forgot.
still the same.
I forgot. No way, Jose was a thing.
Same.
That was so far in the recesses of my mind that
Like core mem, like all the way in the
One
back.
of our few Dominican wrestlers, him, Marty Bell, and the Headhunters. That's all we got.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Seeing that,
That
just
was
made me
awesome.
remember how weird of a year 2017 was for wrestling.
It was very weird. It was very weird. We
man.
were grasping at straws, but Top Guy JJ called bald Corbin. That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
That Baron
Dumbass
Corbin
Baron
hate has
Corbin.
never went away. It's been 5 years long.
It's never wavered.
Never wavered at all. Romeo, thank you so much for that. Let the people know what you got coming up. 5:30 p.m. Eastern time and 10 p.m. Eastern time today.
Follow me, True Heel Romeo, Twitter and Instagram. We are gonna watch this boxing fight. It's probably gonna be 5:30, but have your notifications on because we're just gonna watch this fight. So if it comes on any earlier, you'll know when we go live. And at 10 p.m. for sure, UFC Usman Edwards 2. Join us for that. And tomorrow night, I don't have the time yet, but for our patrons on Patreon, patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, for those $3, I will be doing a watch along to In Your House Mind Games in preparation for True Rewind, which we drop on Fightful Overbooked. A new episode came out yesterday, I think. So check it out over there.
Nice.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. ProWrestlingTees.com/True Hills, like that True Hill Heat shirt DJ Eric had earlier. You can get that over at ProWrestlingTees.com/True Heels. Check out myself and Jay News from yesterday, our New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 32 Finals Roundtable Review, where we broke down the finals between Okada and Ospreay, as well as the entire tournament. Check that out. That is on demand right now. Just get one final look at the comments here. We also got CM saying, I love y'all's energy. Yes, we brought the energy there. That's one thing that hasn't gone away.
One thing that's never changed.
And CM saying today, 4 years ago, the Shield reunion. That's probably up on the channel. You can check that out, our reaction to the Shield reunion 4 years ago. So once again, I want to thank everyone who joined us on the show today. Thank everyone you see on screen. Thank everyone that's been a part of this channel for the past 5 years. We thank you all, and we appreciate everything you've given us to grow this brand that we know as True Heel Heat. Yes, there you go. There you go, Johnny. for StatKing, for Miss Krissy Love, for Drunk Guy JJ, Top Guy JJ, DJ Eric. I saw Alan Weinstein was in the back end. We didn't get to get him on, but I want to thank him as well. I want to thank everyone who gave us super chat donations, for the Negro Buck, for Professor Kris, for Romeo, for Baby Seth. Our rematch is coming soon to a New York arena, coming to you soon in the next year. It is me. Here's to 5 more, and we will see you
to the moon.